on Fox. Here's the Mets lineup. No shocks, no surprises. Who's the DH? Maybe that was the big question coming in. You're about to find out. Curtis Granderson will lead off in right. Then David Wright bats second. Daniel Murphy red hot hitting third. Yoenis Cespedes is the cleanup man. Lucas Duda got hot at the end of the NLCS. Darno is the catcher. Michael Conforto is the rookie left fielder. Wilmer Flores the shortstop. And it's Kelly Johnson getting the DH nod from Terry Collins, the oldest manager in the game today at 66. He's been a baseball lifer, and he finally gets to taste life in the World Series. They don't come any better in this game than Terry Collins.
Been around a long time, Joe. I'd go back to Instruction League 30 years ago when Terry Collins was cutting his teeth, and fun to be around.
You saw the numbers for Edinson Volquez. He is in the top spot tonight for Kansas City. Strike one. Granderson at the plate, taking on Volquez, who is 1-2 this postseason.
And Joe, his stuff has played up in this postseason. A lot of two-seam fastballs at velocities we have not seen all year. 95 to even 97.
In the air to left. Back is Gordon. One away. Well, you know Alex Gordon is in left. One of the best arms in all of baseball. Lorenzo Cain in center. Alex Rios in right. And then around the infield, Moustakas, who has that only error on that graphic. So far through 11 games this postseason, one error. Escobar, Zobrist, and Hosmer. Salvador Perez is the rock behind the plate with Edinson Volquez on the mound. And Perez told us he's never seen Volquez throw this hard as a Kansas City Royal. Here's David Wright.
Joe, I always wondered the matchups. You know, David Wright's faced him a lot. He was in the National League. These Mets have faced him before, but it's a different pitcher. When you add the velocity of about 4 or 5 miles more than you're used to, it changes the guy you're used to seeing in the past.
Here's a 1-0 to the Mets captain. Strike one.
That's the bread and butter right there. Two-seamer that starts outside of the zone. Right-handed hitters give up on it. Runs back into the zone.
It's been a long fight for David Wright to get to this spot. He is a great representative, not just for the Mets, but for Major League Baseball. Somebody who was voted as captain for this team. He was there in 2006 as a wide-eyed kid when the Mets came within one win of getting to the World Series. He's been through a lot since then. Dealing with a bad back this year. The 2-1 popped up. Right side for Rios. 2 out.
Well, that's a credit to how hard Volquez is throwing. You see 2 fly balls opposite directions. Granderson to left, and right there, right to right field.
For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. The 2 out, nobody on. The batter will be Daniel Murphy. Let's see, the Dodgers couldn't figure it out. The Cubs couldn't figure it out. Can the Royals figure out Daniel Murphy?
Well, I know this. They're going to pitch in to in. They think he's been much too comfortable in the first 2 rounds of the postseason.
Perez sets up in, and that tails back for a strike.
Regardless of what they try to do, if you've been following the playoffs, you got to be excited to watch this guy hit. It has been some kind of run. It takes you back to your childhood, Reggie Jackson type stuff.
That misses for ball 1. You saw that graphic. 6 straight postseason games with a home run. That's a Major League Baseball record. He's got 7 in this postseason, and the guys that are on his list, like Kershaw and Greinke and Lester and Arrieta. Can he get Volquez? That's high and tight, ball 2.
And Joe, to your point, I mean, he's hitting not good pitching, he's hitting great pitching, top tier. You know you're going to get great pitching in the postseason, but when you're hitting the best in the game for home runs like he's been, you're locked in. The worry is, has the layoff affected him? I don't think so, watching him yesterday.
The Mets went right through the Cubs, swept them 4 straight, and never trailed in that series. Strike 2.
Well, Tom, there's that changeup we're talking about with him, not giving up a lot of long balls on the change. Look at him change pace, and look at the run on this.
Yeah, it's actually a dangerous pitch. This pitch is supposed to be away. Inside changeup, right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. That's dangerous. Murphy thought it was down.
Got him to end the inning. The excitement around Matt Harvey. He gets the nod in game 1, and here's the lineup he'll face. Alcides Escobar, the ALCS MVP, then Ben Zobrist, then Lorenzo Cain, then Eric Hosmer. The DH is Kendrys Morales, Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, the left fielder Alex Gordon. Alex Rios is in right. They're good 1 through 9. They throw lefty, righty, switch hitter at you. They're tough to pitch to. But the Mets have their ace, the right-hander who has started an all-star game. That was 2 seasons ago. And now he rolls into this one. 2-0 this postseason.
If you've been watching the Royals like we have, be ready. He's swinging. First pitch.
It is Escobar, and he swings and hits it into left center. Back at the track, it is dropped. Cespedes couldn't make the catch. How about that effort? Digging around third. Here comes Escobar. 1-0 Kansas City. An inside the park home run for Alcides Escobar to start the World Series.
I can't believe he threw a fastball over the plate. First pitch.
Well, I'm looking at the communication left center. This is a ball hung up in this weather. It looked like it was going to be a ball that Cespedes and both Conforto had a chance to catch.
It's the 12th inside the park home run in World Series history. Zobrist flies one into center for Cespedes. And Yoenis Cespedes went to his right and was either worried about a collision, guys, didn't see it, but just kind of flashed at it with his glove.
I don't think he saw it off the bat. But again, you have to pitch Escobar as if the count is 0-2 when he steps into the batter's box. You know he's swinging.
Well, here's the look at it. See Conforto back off and look at Cespedes the last second. He goes at it. So they miscommunicated on that fly ball. They both thought the other might get it in the last second. He just went for a little last second effort to try to catch it.
Here's Cain up there pumping, strike 1.
Watch the read in center field by Cespedes. That's a very late jump. He did not see that ball off the bat.
Cain checks on Cespedes again. He's been busy. 2 out. I'm like you, Harold. I was surprised that on this cold, damp night, that ball carried as far as it did. And bad jump or not, either Cespedes or Conforto could have gotten there. And in the end, it's Cespedes who just has to flash at it. And it's an inside the park home run.
Yeah, that ball's got to be an out. Look, this park is huge. It plays big. It's big in the gaps, 387, but even bigger in a thick air tonight. But that's got to be an out between the two of them.
Here's Hosmer with 2 out. Ball 1.
And that's what I expected to see more out of Matt Harvey from the get-go as he pitched against Chicago. More secondary pitches earlier in at-bats. Kansas City is so aggressive that to me, these games are decided on the first 2 pitches of at-bats against the Royals lineup.
Hosmer completely fooled on that pitch by Harvey. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, talking to Matt yesterday around the cage, he said he adjusts as the game presents itself in front of him. So clearly he sees him hacking. He's gone to a little bit of a slider now. He's as good an adjustment early as anybody.
But let's say this, if you paid 1 second of attention to the Royals this postseason, mainly in the ALCS, you know they go up there ready to swing.
I mean, here's all you need to know. Now, for any pitcher, you'll see a gap there, but for Harvey, it's 30% greater difference.
But even that said, guys, that ball's got to be caught, and he's out of the inning unscathed.
Cespedes was the center fielder on the Cuban national team when he was there. He has played left and center in the majors. Here comes a 3-1 pitch to Hosmer. That gets away for ball 4. And when the Mets pulled the trigger right before the deadline and got Cespedes from Detroit, as you watch this ball into left center field, Terry Collins, the manager, said, "I need you to work some in center field." Cespedes said, "I'm a center fielder." He's handled himself well out there, just did not see that ball and couldn't recover.
No, 9 out of 10 they catch it. This was the one they didn't. Got a 1-0 game. He was flying around too, man. That ball kicked. There was no chance of getting him at home.
Here's Morales. Of all the guys in the Royals lineup, the one who handles the fastball best statistically is the DH Kendrys Morales.
Well, this is the thing about an aggressive team. They put you in a position where you get away from your best pitch. If your best pitch is fastball, you got to throw your best pitch.
2-0.
He's totally got away from his heater.
Morales 4 home runs this postseason. That's ball 3.
What the Royals do is put incredible pressure on a pitcher because they will never concede a pitch in the strike zone. Every pitch is thrown under duress because you never get a free strike against this free swinging team.
.30 pitch. 3-1. That's the first. A fair ball in the first inning of game 1 is over. Well, what a start. First pitch is in for a strike to Yoenis Cespedes. It was the man on the right, Alcides Escobar, probably still trying to catch his breath. After that electrifying start, first pitch swinging, plugged the gap in left center field off the glove and arm of Cespedes for an inside the park home run. And now Yoenis turns on that one, fouls it, strike 2.
Well, I said the World Series always surprises us. Didn't think it would come first pitch, bottom of the first inning, not just an inside the park home run, but a stand-up inside the park home run.
It's the second time it's happened in the history of the World Series. The first time it's happened since 1903. A leadoff inside the park home run. This is Moustakas. 1 out, and Cespedes was flying. They barely got him. In 1903, it was Patsy Doherty in Game 2, the first World Series who led off the game with an inside the park home run. It's obviously then never been done. First pitch, Game 1 of a World Series, and It's Escobar who is he's proving to be a postseason star. He was good last year. He's been great this year. Here's Duda. Lucas Duda, 6 hits in this postseason. Started out 2 for his first 21, and then got hot at the end of the NLCS, and this is one of the streakiest hitters in baseball.
He is a guy that clearly the way they defend, you saw how the defense is set up. He can turn on a ball with the best of them. I worry a little bit about Zobrist out in the wet rain. You know, it's a challenge.
He's out in shallow right, but in this case it's Moustakas on the other side of the bag. 2 out, nobody on. Home plate umpire is Bill Welke. He is joined by Mark Carlson at first, Mike Winters at second, Jim Wolf at third, Alfonso Marquez is in left, and the crew chief is Gary Cederstrom in right. Mike Everett is the replay ump in New York.
First World Series for Bill Welke, joining his brother Tim Welke, calling World Series games.
Here's d'Arnaud. Good young catcher who's just had a tough time staying healthy, but when he is healthy, he is impressive.
Yeah, he can do a lot of things for you, particularly the power starting to come on. You always hear that about young hitters, the power will come later. We're starting to see it out of him now.
He hit a tape measure home run in Game 1 of the NLCS to straightaway center. A guy who was in the Phillies organization, traded for Halladay, and then moved on to, after Toronto, here to the Mets. Part of a big deal with R.A. Dickey going the other way. Here's a 1-1. Popped up. Zobrist out. He wants it. And that is 6 straight retired by Edinson Volquez. Bottom of the second rolls in Game 1. Royals bat up 1-0. Back to the hill. Mike Moustakas, who was wearing a microphone during the pregame, is digging in. Here he is. At a big Game 6 here against Toronto. That's into left. 1 pitch, 1 out. And here's how it sounded from Mike Moustakas before tonight's game.
Yeah. Let's go, boys. Come on. Here we go. Go, Skipper.
This is our time.
Yes, sir.
This is our time. What we've been waiting for.
Yes, sir. I got no pressure. You got to throw a strike.
If I bounce it, you got pressure.
I'll block it up. That'll work.
I didn't bounce it.
That'll work.
They absolutely love Mike Moustakas here in Kansas City with good reason. Here's Salvador Perez, strike 1 from Matt Harvey.
Yeah, he's a joy to be around. But the one thing I just saw right there, 96 from Harvey, getting back to that good heater.
Perez hits it, foul. Strike 2.
And that sound from Moustakas, a little window into the confidence of this Kansas City team. Joe, you mentioned at the top, 90 feet away from tying Game 7 last year. They go to spring training, one of the earliest dates. They're working on pickoffs at first base. Normal routine stuff.
Here's the 0-2. That is into right center off the bat of Perez. And a 1-out single.
And the players said to Ned Yost, we're not just doing pickoffs, we're also going to do rundowns. I'm telling you, from day 1, they had this series in mind, the World Series.
See Perez taking that cutter the opposite way right there. The ball he pulled down the left field line was a changeup. I just feel like early going, Matt Harvey is the Dark Knight. He's the guy that comes at you with the fastball. And he got away from it after Escobar's inside the park home run. I just think he's got to get back if he wants to control this game to his fastball and trust in it.
1 on, 1 out. The number 8 hitter is Alex Gordon, who takes the ball inside. There are the numbers for Alex this postseason. Hit .271 during the regular year. .309 hitter against right-handed pitching in his postseason career that dates back to the beginning of last October. That is outside. 2-0.
Well, watching his action, Tom, it almost looks like his delivery looks like a changeup, and the ball just explodes because he's got such great downward movement.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the upper 90s yet. More in the 95, 96 range, but that's plenty good enough for Matt Harvey.
That's inside. Fastball missed. It's 3-0. Swinging on 3-0, and Gordon pulled the trigger a little early.
They don't concede anything. And he got what he was looking for, just a little too quick.
He's sitting there, especially after missing on the 2-0 fastball. He knows he's getting 1-3-0 on the inside half. Man, he got in front of that, Joe. Goodness.
See if he gets it again on 3-1. Second walk handed out by Harvey.
Well, remember, Matt Harvey is pitching on 9 days of rest. During the season, they skipped his turn twice, allowing him to pitch on 11 days of rest, and he threw shutout ball in both of those starts after the long rest.
Well, the Mets didn't trail in their NLCS against the Cubs. They trail right away here against Kansas City, and there are the numbers on the different days of rest for the young Matt Harvey.
They think his mechanics are so pure, he holds his stuff well even with extended rest.
Here's Alex Rios, 2 on, 1 out. Flied in the air to left center. Cespedes back. Perez won't go anywhere. 2 out. We'll give you StatCast, powered by Amazon Web Services.
Well, let's take you back around the bases with Alcides Escobar. All right, he sees the ball off the bat. He's going to get 20 miles an hour, and he's going to take him to go around 15 seconds. Now, what was that first guy hit the first inside the park home run?
Patsy Doherty.
I don't think Patsy got around in 15 seconds. I'm just saying. The man was flying right there.
And when that happened, Matt Harvey had given up the inside the park home run to this man, Alcides Escobar. Last pitcher to allow a first inning inside the park home run in the World Series was Babe Ruth. That was in 1916. The High Myers of the Brooklyn Robins. And for you Met fans, Casey Stengel had one for the Giants in 1923. First manager in the history of the Mets. It started in 1962.
Look, this is a tough ballpark to defend. In the history of Kauffman Stadium, there's been 107 inside the park home runs. Now, I know it had AstroTurf back in the day, but you kick a ball in the corner, it rolls around the corner. We saw that there in left center field. Not many ballparks in left center you're going to give up an inside the park home run. This is a big ballpark. A lot of real estate to cover.
2 on, 2 out, 1-1. Good pitch from Harvey, strike 2.
And so far, slider, changeup. For the guy who goes hunting fastballs. Here's the change. And the arm speed is what gets Escobar, not the location, the arm speed.
And it's that in-game adjustment from Harvey. This guy's not just a thrower, he can pitch, and that's what's impressive about all the young guys.
A 1-2. Left side for right. Inning over. Harvey gets into and out of trouble. Third inning rolls in. Mets batting down. And that was in Game 7 of a thrilling game in World Series. Let's go down to Erin Andrews.
And after that final out, Joe, Eric Hosmer had wrote for the Players Tribune saying the entire team went back to the clubhouse and just sat there in their uniforms, not saying a word for about an hour and a half. We talked to Ned Yost about it. He said after a week he thought it would go away. After 2 weeks it would go away. And it never went away. He said it didn't go away until really spring training. And what he told us today is, last year we were happy to be here. This year we expected it. And like he said on the trophy stand after the ALCS, we've got some unfinished business to take care of.
They are not surprised to be here at all. This is a well-constructed team. Here's a ground ball right side. Diving stop by Hosmer. Race to the bag. One away. Good cover by Volquez.
Yeah, and what I like about this play with Hosmer diving, it's been raining all day. So Zobrist is in the outfield grass. You don't know how this ball is going to bounce once it gets to the grass. And that's a nice play and excellent cover to get over there by Volquez as well. But that ball gets to the grass, it's going to shoot. And I was curious how that's going to play. They're going to play deep all night on a couple hitters. We'll see how that plays out.
The ground ball to the right side by Michael Conforto, the rookie, who looks like he's going to be a superstar for the Mets. But that's a two-time Gold Glove Award winner, Hosmer at first, making the diving stop. And with one out, the batter is Wilmer Flores. Strike one from Volquez.
So far, the command has been impeccable for Volquez. Flores is a guy you want to keep the ball away. Tremendous power, but all his power is down and in.
That's well hit into left field. Right there to make the catch is Gordon. 2 down.
Joe, we talked about the defense of the Royals. That's one Gold Glover to the other. This defense is exceptional. Great jump by Gordon. The slide, no problem. Got it all the way. What a lift, Tom, for your pitcher. Knowing you can throw strikes, you got a defense like that behind you.
Just one error the entire postseason for Kansas City. You know going in, they will not give you anything. They will play a clean game.
Kelly Johnson is the number 9 man, the DH. Mets looking for their first base runner. Strike one. Kelly was picked up from Atlanta along with Juan Uribe. And it was really when the Mets started to turn things around, although this team just kicked it in once they picked up Cespedes. Minutes before the deadline expired. And here they are in the World Series. And here's Kelly Johnson set up at 0-2. And before another 0-2 pitch, a reminder, tonight's telecast sponsored by AT&T. Mobilizing your world. The 0-2. Big swing by Kelly Johnson. This is only the 33rd game for Kelly Johnson as a DH. He's bounced around. He's been with the Yankees. Just a .213 hitter as a DH. And he's hit. Mets have their first base runner. I want to make a point about Cespedes in center, and that's how this game started defensively for the Mets. Juan Lagares is a Gold Glove Award winner who plays center field. But when we talked to Terry Collins, the manager of the Mets, he said, why Cespedes in center and Conforto in left? He said, we have to be offensive in this series, and he likes the way this lineup sits that way because they get more of an attack offensively as opposed to with Lagares in the outfield, specifically in center.
Yeah, Lagares, low on base percentage guy, especially against right-handed pitching.
I like the move. I like Cespedes in center field. That was just a miscommunication between the two of them. But if you watch him all year, he's a guy that can roam out there. I don't have a problem with Terry's decision at all.
Runner at first, 2 out, 1-0 pitch. Granderson, 2-0. Curtis flied to left his first time up in his second year of a 4-year, $60 million deal, and he had a good year. 26 home runs, 24 of which came against right-handed pitching. And he's been good in the postseason.
With the count in his favor, you saw Moustakas, the third baseman, move over to the right side of the field. Another shift. 4 hitters in the lineup they will shift against.
Here comes a 2-0. 3-0.
You know, he's got himself a little bit of trouble, and I think it goes back to the 0-2 pitch. Kelly Johnson fouled back up this way. A great hack on a ball away. Then he tried to get him with the breaking ball that hit him. And it's just enough to get him in a stretch and get him out of his rhythm. So he's got to figure out now, out of a stretch, how to get himself right and correct to be able to throw strikes.
That's a walk. A hit batsman and a walk, and it's 2 on with 2 out, and David Wright coming up. Official caps, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Get all your Mets and Royals World Series gear and celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. What an opportunity here for David Wright.
Well, Volquez does have some walks in him. All 3 starts, 4 walks. But I think you'll see him stay hard against David Wright. Since David got back off the DL, it's not the same hitter against velocity. He's not that same hitter who would take that fastball away and drive it to the gap in right center field. Just 1 extra base hit to the right side since he came back. I think the same pitch he got him first time around, 2-seamer hard away, is the go-to spot.
Well, believe it or not, I think David Wright's the guy he wanted to get out of the inning once he fell behind Granderson. This is his out guy. You don't want to get to Murphy, but here's who he's going to try to get out of this inning.
Tying run at second, go ahead run at first, 2 out. Here in the third. David Wright, who's been dealing with spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the spine, and it cost him all but 38 games. So for the year, 5 homers, 17 RBIs, went 4 for 14 in the NLCS. His first World Series. And the Mets first since 2000. Strike 1.
Yeah, it was a long road back for David. Spent most of the summer in Los Angeles going through all kinds of traction and doing whatever he could to try to get back on the field. I asked him yesterday, do you think there's a chance you wouldn't get back? He said, no, I knew I'd get back. It just was going to take a while to get back. It took about 5 months.
Two and one. David Wright, who signed an 8-year deal back in 2012. He's trying to come up with a big hit here in the third inning with 2 out. There's the heat. Wright can't catch up. 2-2.
That's the pitch. That's Volquez's strength, and that's where he wants to go.
Got him looking. Mets get their first base runners, strand their first, and after 2.5, 1-0 Royals. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Royals, up by 1. Strike 1 from Matt Harvey. Harvey allowed the inside the park home run on a ball that went off Cespedes in left center field. And the first pitch he threw. Got around a 2-out walk in the first, a hit and a walk in the second. The count 1-1 on Zobrist, who fly to center his first time.
You know, Joe, it was fun talking to Matt Harvey yesterday because he was like, I'm not the guy.
That's on the infield. Flores, 1 out.
That's not approachable. You know, come up with that pitcher. He's got the headphones on. He's all psyched out, and you can't talk to him. He's like, no, you can talk to me. This is hanging out around the cage. And so I had to ask him, how'd you come up with the nickname The Dark Knight? He turned around and he looked all over the place. I said, where are you looking? He goes, that guy right over there. And I go, who? He goes, Tom Verducci. He named me The Dark Knight.
Really?
That is true. I wish I had royalties on it. That was for an SI cover story. Matt's first year. Saving New York.
Here's Kane.
So how did you come up with The Dark Knight?
No, really, saving New York. I'm not kidding. You know that, Joe, you talked about it, 6 consecutive losing seasons, and they needed somebody in Gotham to come save the day. And he was exactly what you would want from a #1 starter. The stuff, the personality, just of all the drive. He wants it.
That's into right. That's Granderson to his left. And let's give you part of the timeline for Matt Harvey, 7th overall pick back in 2010. Easy does it coming back from Tommy John. Missed all of last year. He was the talk of the town. May 1st, a 5-0 start. September 4th, now we get into the issue with innings limit. September 7th, he comes back and says, I will pitch. And now here he is. Tonight's the night. Game 1 of the World Series gets the ball. As far as the innings limit, it was brought up by his agent, Scott Boras, and it became public that the target number was 180 coming back after a season off and coming back from Tommy John surgery. Here's Hosmer, and that's 2 quick strikes. That started a mess for Matt Harvey, and according to his manager Terry Collins, Matt came into Terry's office and was shocked at the response in New York. Here comes an 0-2 pitch. Some of the veteran leaders on the club talked to Matt. Terry talked to Matt, and he came out of that a little bit shaken, but said, wait, this isn't representative of how I feel. I'm going to pitch, and if we go to the playoffs, I'll be there for you. And he's scheduled to pitch twice in this World Series if we get there. 1-2 pitch, fouled back.
Yeah, he got knocked back on his heel by that backlash, caught him off guard. The turning point, a start against the Yankees September 20th. Came out of that game, 70-something pitches with a 1-0 lead. Mets lose the game. The next day, he went to Terry Collins and said, you know what? I want to pitch in the postseason, and I have to get to 100 pitches my next 2 starts. I want the baseball. That's when it turned.
There's a 1-2. Another foul.
And you're talking about pitching. I'm just watching and admiring the in-game adjustment he's made. Look, he gave up the first batter. That's how they scored the run. He's had some traffic, but he's done a great job of mixing in all his pitches and really being able to offset this offense a little bit right now. He's brought it back under control.
Well, I know this. If he was driving the Dark Knight's Batmobile, he would not be in the left-hand lane. I mean, he is not going 96, 97. It's more 93, 95 tonight.
Well, he talked about the, really more, it was Scott Boras' agent, the 180 innings limit. He started this night at 202 for the year. Here he is working in the third.
So much for 180. The big thing is there wasn't a lot of history after the Tommy John surgery of a guy throwing over 180 innings.
That's over the head of Harvey. Tough play, Flores. Good play, Flores. And that'll do it for the Royals here in the third. Fourth inning rolls in 7 seasons in the big leagues. And how about being on the list with Luke Gehrig? One or more hits, one or more runs, one or more RBIs in 7 straight postseason games. And he goes up there hammering at the first pitch. Strike one underway in the 4th inning. Mets batting down 1.
Joe, I really think he got on that home run tear, and it shocked everybody, including the pitchers he was facing. And you've already seen Volquez now has gone to a different game plan than what Murphy has seen a lot of in the last 2 postseason rounds.
That's into center field, and Murphy's got another hit. That is his 17th hit of the postseason. And for more on Daniel Murphy, a free agent to be, down to Ken Rosenthal we go.
Well, Joe, Royals pitching coach Dave Eiland had a very interesting comment yesterday on Murphy, saying he's very comfortable right now. I'll leave it at that. Eiland obviously was referring to the fact that Murphy has not been pitched inside, certainly not up and in. Of the 152 pitches he has seen this postseason, only 6 were classified as up and in. Only 4 of those were strikes. The Royals are going to have to work him in to get him out.
He's 1 for 2 tonight. It's the first hit of the night. It belongs to Murphy. No surprise there. Cespedes pops it up. Out is Zobrist. Had to go a long way. 1 down. 1 on, 1 out. Duda coming up. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. This city is all lit up. Whether it's the Power and Light District or really anywhere, they are alive and loving the Royals here in Kansas City. Packed into Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals have been playing since 1973. Ball 1 outside to Duda, renamed it Kauffman Stadium in 2009.
And I bet Kauffman Stadium hasn't seen a shift like this, not back in George Brett's day. Look at where the third baseman, the shortstop, and the second baseman play him. This is double play depth. Normally, the second baseman's out in the right field grass, but that's how deep they play him and how much they overplay with 1 out here in the inning.
Duda hit 27 home runs during the regular season, and he is more than capable of getting hot and doing in this World Series what Daniel Murphy has done with the long ball to this point in the postseason.
Yeah, he's extremely streaky on both ends of the spectrum, both hot and cold. The Mets actually have been living by the home run ball. The home run in 10 consecutive games dating back to the end of the regular season. That's 4 hitters in this Mets lineup where you only have to defend half of the infield. Kansas City, the exact opposite. That's why Kansas City is a better rally team. They use the entire field.
Hard hit and base hit. Murphy will turn and go to third. There won't be a play, and it's first and third with 1 out here in the 4th. And he somehow found a hole through the right side of that infield. That was smoked.
Well, he hits the ball right where Moustakas has to make a decision. This ball goes there. He now has to try to beat Murphy to third. It's a foot race, so Murphy knows he is now first and third all the way. That's the one thing that happens with this shift. Now you've allowed a guy first and third without even thinking about it. Normally, he may not be going to third base right there, but Murphy knew as soon as that ball's through, there's nobody at third. It sets up their inning nice.
Base running has been a plus for Murphy in this postseason. You think back to Game 5 of the division series at Dodger Stadium. There he is, 90 feet away. First and third, 1 out for d'Arnaud, the Mets catcher. Ball 1 from Volquez.
You know, Murphy's watched that defense all summer, how they defend Duda. He's got that in his mind, and like you said, last game right here too.
One out in the inning. Royals looking for the double play ball. The Mets looking for something to tie it, or even bigger from d'Arnaud. That is a fair ball. Tie game. RBI base hit by Travis d'Arnaud. And it's 1-1 here in the fourth. Runners at first and second.
I don't know where Moustakas might have been able to go with this ball. He might have had to go to first base if he gets it anyway. This ball just kicked and got away. Nice piece of hitting and finding a hole. But I don't know if he really has a play if he comes up clean with this.
Yeah, I don't think he did. In fact, it was a great play just to save another 90 feet.
So it's Travis d'Arnaud who ties this game, and now it's the rookie Michael Conforto. Robbed of a hit his first time up. Strike one.
First and third changes everything on a defense because you're drawing guys in on corners. And because he has to honor Murphy over there a little bit, you got d'Arnaud not being able, Moustakas not playing deeper in that situation. So a lot of things happen with Murphy's run to from first to third base, changed the whole half inning.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Volquez. Conforto pops it up. Playable. Moustakas in foul ground. 2 out.
They have stayed inside all night against Conforto. He has a beautiful swing, reminds me of Carlos Gonzalez, but it's a little bit long, and they think the velocity of Volquez can beat him inside. It's exactly what he did right there. Every pitch he has seen tonight has been hard in. Just a little tardy.
Yeah, you always look at like game one is almost like watching a boxing match, and they fill each other out for the first 2 rounds to see what the other guy's bringing. Game one sets up how they're going to pitch me, how they plan me, what do they think in certain situations. You don't think Kansas City's going to recognize Murphy's going to go to third base every ball hit? So you learn a lot of things. Just like Conforto's going to learn, they're going to pitch him inside.
Here's Wilmer Flores with 2 on, 2 out in a tie game. Strike one, and that caught Perez, and that's just another night at the office for Salvador Perez. Nobody gets hit more than the 25-year-old backstop for the Royals.
See how that right hand hangs down there?
Ooh.
And that's a product of having base runners on. Normally you might see that hand hiding behind the glove. He is so big. It's like I hit the thumb almost down there, hanging down. Man, that's got to hurt.
He's so big, and it's hard for him to get down as low as most catchers get. So he's not just a big target, he's a higher target.
This is a serious one here. He doesn't take a lot of time. You got Trainer coming out and Ned Yost. If that ball's on his thumb and possibly that inside finger, that's how you grip a baseball.
Talk about how many times we've seen him get hit all month. The follow through by Donaldson that caught him on the back of the left hand and the finger. And then in this one, straight into his chest, one off his shoulder, off the mask. Those are the ones that he says will really daze him. When we asked him before the game, what hurts you? Here's the one that just happened right off the right thumb and index finger. He pointed to his jaw from those foul tips off his mask, and now he's grabbing the rosin bag to see if he could theoretically grab a baseball.
That's not the greatest hit CD you want to compile.
Ken Rosenthal, what do you have that you can add to that?
The last 2 games of the ALCS, Perez started wearing a mouth guard. Now he's done this on and off. He even does it on and off through games. And the idea is to basically keep the jaw in line and to prevent the force from spreading all over the place. It kind of stabilizes the force, makes sure it's spread out evenly. The idea there is to keep the pressure off his neck. Now, he doesn't always wear the mouth guard. It's a habit he has to get into. He likes to He likes to chew gum and he likes to chew sunflower seeds, and that is not easy to do with a mouth guard.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't have the mouth guard in. He's got gum in instead. But hopefully he's okay. Two on, two out, 0-1. The count on Wilmer Flores.
You saw that last pitch. That right hand went behind his back.
And rightfully so. He's got Duda at second base. He's got d'Arnaud at first. They're not going to run with 2 outs in this situation. So, yeah, he should be putting that behind his back and protecting himself. Great observation, Tom. You see it right there clearly.
Left side in the hole. It's Escobar. And the inning is over, but the Mets have tied it. The RBI for d'Arnaud. Bottom of the 4th here in game 1. Now tied at 1.
A very unusual circumstance, and again, you can see Major League Baseball brass, Joe Torre and Jim Leyland and company. They look just as concerned, certainly, as players on the field are at what's now amounting to a lengthy delay. Yeah, you've got to wonder about this affecting Matt Harvey, John.
Well, like I said, I mean, he just had a beautiful at bat against Morales. He's thrown all his pitches, got a strikeout. Last thing you think you're going to have is this delay for no weather reason, no confusion, no argument, and you just do the best case scenario. He's thrown some pitches. You can only throw so many. So as a starting pitcher, you basically have to just do your thing, mentally stay locked in, and then when the play resumes, you don't miss a beat.
You know, another explanation as to the pause. This is certainly troubling if there is to be a replay review. We would like to welcome the U.S. audience joining us on MLB International with Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian. We're taking over on Fox until the technical issue is resolved, and we'll get you back to Joe Buck, Tom Verducci, and Harold Reynolds in just a moment. Meanwhile, play will resume after the technical difficulties. You didn't miss anything, America.
No.
Because after the strikeout to Kendrys Morales, play stopped when Terry Collins came out onto the field, had a word with home plate umpire Bill Welke. And that's kind of where we've been since. I'm sure a sold-out crowd is wondering why the pause.
They certainly are. They would like to get their team going, and Matt Harvey would love to get going again. As I mentioned, he is in good rhythm right now with all of his pitches.
So now it's Mike Moustakas with 1 away and the base is empty. He takes a strike. Moustakas lined to left in his first try tonight. 1 out, bases empty, a 1-1 ball game, bottom half of the 4th. And a breaking ball taken for a strike, 0-2.
Yeah, those are 4 or 5 of them now in this inning. We talked about earlier in our broadcast that the breaking ball would be a key pitch against the Royals hitters who attack the fastballs.
Still a 0-2 count to Mike Moustakas.
Typically a game plan of 61% fastballs out of Matt Harvey. He is nowhere near that, where his off-speed pitches have taken over now in the latter part of the innings. He came out firing with his fastball, and now he's been able to break in the breaking ball. His changeup has been very good, and he's kept the hitters off balance for the most part here with 1 out in the 4th.
We had discussed it earlier, and for the benefit of our Fox audience, I know that you and I were both looking for that kind of big-time velocity plus for Matt Harvey to kind of set the tone tonight. It's been anything but that. He's had the 95, But as you mentioned, we've seen more of the secondary pitches than we thought. In fact, he's thrown his fastball less than half the time to start the ninth this evening.
And that's what video and watching the lineup and what they'll do to the fastball. It's great cat and mouse game that a pitcher has when he's on the mound. Who's going to execute and make the other person change?
Mike Moustakas hanging around, still a 0-2 count.
And obviously the goal is to make the hitters change as a pitcher, and vice versa. If you're out there, you're trying to disturb the rhythm that Matt Harvey has going right now, and you're looking for any mistake. But he has 4 pitches he can go to. That's what makes him so special.
Bounces one to make it a ball and 2 strikes. Well, folks, we're just settling in when Alcides Escobar whacked the first pitch in the bottom of the first inning into the left center field gap. And after a misread by Cespedes and Conforto, it turned into an inside the park home run. The first inside the park home run in World Series history in quite a while. Moustakas whacks a 1-2 pitch into right. Granderson is there at the track to make the catch. 1929 to be exact, between World Series inside the Parkers. The Mets counter for their run in the top of the 4th on an RBI single by Travis d'Arnaud. And now with 2 out in the bottom of the inning, it'll be Kansas City catcher Salvador Perez.
Matt Harvey got away with a hanging changeup, got underneath that changeup, and it was driven out to right field. Both outfielders cover a lot of ground. You see how Perez's index and thumb finger, his fingers feel on that bat after getting hit.
The ball and no strikes to Perez. And again, we'll get you back out to Joe Buck, Tom Verducci, Harold Reynolds, Aaron Andrews, and Ken Rosenthal on the Fox broadcast as soon as the technical problem is resolved. Until then, with John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian here on MLB International. And Perez is robbed of potential extra bases on a great grab by David Wright. Through the delay, the Royals go down in order in their half of the 4th. On to inning number 5 in Game 1. The Mets and Royals all tied 1 apiece. York, Johnson followed by the top of the order, Granderson and Wright. And so far, so good for both starting pitchers. Edinson Volquez began the night by retiring the first 8 Mets that he faced. He got out of a tight spot in the 3rd. Could have been an even tighter spot in the 4th, but he was able to limit the damage to 1 run for the Mets, and that's where we stand. Kelly Johnson was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Ended up stranded at second base, as after a base on balls, Volquez struck out David Wright to end the inning. A ball and a strike to count to Kelly Johnson.
Well, so far for Volquez, his fastball's been a little sporadic. He has the miles per hour that he needs, but the command has to be a little bit better. His go-to pitch when he needs to make a money pitch has been his changeup. His curveball hasn't quite had the accuracy, as Kelly Johnson was hit by one of those curveballs with 2 strikes.
One and two. At 32 years old, Edinson Volquez making his first ever World Series start. We discussed his career postseason success at the start of the telecast. This year, he's been a lot better in the postseason than his numbers would indicate. And now goes to 2-2 on Johnson.
Yeah, a little bit of that late movement can not only catch the hitter, but maybe catches the home umpire here when you see this pitch and the late movement. Maybe up a little bit, but nonetheless, the kind of pitch you want as a pitcher to freeze the hitter.
2-2 pitch with some English on it out to shortstop. Escobar with an off-balance throw to get his man. One of the areas the Royals feel like they have a bit of a matchup advantage is their defense up the middle. And Alcides Escobar flashing some good work there.
Well, you mentioned it, the English on this ball, who's played for the shift. He gets it and throws it. Nobody better between your shortstop and your catcher. Smooth hands does Hosmer have. Great play. Always a pick-me-up for a starting pitcher to get that leadoff guy out. Anybody that gets on base in the postseason feels like a rally. The crowd knows it. Certainly the pitcher knows it.
Here's Curtis Granderson now. He has flied out and walked in 2 trips to the plate and falls behind 0-1. Edinson Volquez gets ahead, especially in this postseason. He has been particularly tough, and now he's ahead 0-2. Through his first 3 postseason starts this year, opponents are just 3 for 31 when they start 0-1 against Volquez. Here is his 0-2 to Granderson. He's able to check his swing on a pitch that missed outside. That's big velocity.
Well, he kind of, when he finished, it looks like he flies all over the place. He's in control. It's that front side that goes a little bit haywire at times, where it makes that fastball leak away from the intended target.
The breaking ball fouled away.
That's why the changeup and the curveball, you slow yourself down naturally as a pitcher, so you're probably going to be, you don't worry about throwing the ball super hard on these breaking pitches and these changeups. You see one right there, he left out over the plate. But his fastball, he's letting it go, and he's letting that velocity and movement take care of itself, and hopefully in the right area.
2 of the hardest throwing staffs in baseball. Granderson takes a 1-2 pitch into right. Back is Rios, and that one is gone. Curtis Granderson delivers the Mets' first World Series lead.
Now, this is a team that relies on the home runs, and Curtis Granderson, as his patience goes, he's got that area up, in, that he doesn't miss. And Volquez gets underneath the fastball. And of course, Granderson, that one area that he loves, he pulls the ball. Only 1 home run the other way. You cannot miss in that area to Curtis Granderson.
2-1 New York. Now David Wright. And on the first pitch, he grounds to second. Ben Zobrist has it, and there are 2 away. Curtis Granderson, as we talked about earlier, gives you good at-bat, leads the league in pitches per plate appearance, gets to a 1-2 count there, John, and still goes deep.
Well, again, we talked about the 2-strike hits, the 2-strike home runs, 9 of them, now 10 for the Mets. That's just a location miss. Fastball away, you can see Perez reaches. You never want to reach. When you see a catcher reach, it's not a good sign. And Granderson, along with the guy that's at the plate right now, has made the opponents pay when they make a mistake.
The guy that's at the plate right now, Daniel Murphy, has homered in a postseason record 6 consecutive games, 7 postseason home runs for him in 2015. He has singled, scored, and struck out tonight. The 0-1 is wrapped on the ground as Zobrist to his left. He's able to make the play, not before the Mets can grab their first lead. A 2-strike count and a home run by Curtis Granderson have made it 2-1 New York.
It was panic for a moment.
We're going to enjoy the telecast now. Smoltz and I are going to step into the back of the room. You want me to leave any of my stuff here for you?
No, yeah, if you don't mind. Got it. Like your pencil.
You got it.
All right. Matt Harvey now has the lead because of that Granderson home run. Harold will pick up Matt Vasgersian's headset, and we will continue on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The batter is Alex Gordon with Alex Rios to follow and Escobar. And I don't know if the power was up when Escobar just made an unbelievable play for the first out in the 5th inning and a ball hit by Kelly Johnson. I tell you, everybody's talking about the offense. The defense is stunning for Escobar as well. Gordon flies one down the left field line. That will get out of play, and the count stays at 1-2.
Well, I'm trying to make sure my mic is still working here. All right.
We started talking about the Dark Knight. It became Silent Night.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, we're moving on. 2-1 game here in Game 1 with the Mets on top. A single tally in the 4th inning. The home run by Granderson. And now Matt Harvey gets a strikeout to start the inning.
Tell you what, to me, the difference in this game, I know Granderson just hit a home run. It's 2-1 right now. Murphy had a big run from first to third, set up a run. He scored. But Matt Harvey's been the difference. From the first pitch to the rest of the game, he's gone to the breaking ball, went to the changeup, and got back his fastball. He's at mid-90s. He's been the difference maker because early on they were attacking him, putting the ball in play. He's been very effective right now.
Here's Rios. Fly to center his first time. And that one takes off out of the right hand of Harvey, ball one.
Well, what he's doing now is he's starting to get the swings and misses. We talked about that at the top. That can define this series. The power pitching the Mets against this deep, aggressive lineup. Only had 4 swings and misses out of the first 27 swings, but now the off-speed stuff is getting the misses.
Here's a high fly ball into left off the bat of Rios. Just got under it. Conforto is there, and that's out number 2.
Well, we always talk about misses being swings and misses, but that's a miss as well. And when you got enough velocity to go up on a guy like he did right there in the strike zone on Rios, you're going to get guys to miss pitches and pop them up. So the velocity's not 97, but I'm going to tell you, 95, 93, that's still getting the ball in there good enough. And he's now set up his off-speed stuff to make that fastball look even faster.
Well, here's Escobar. And if you're just joining us, Alcides Escobar, who was the MVP of the ALCS, swung at the first pitch. If you watch the ALCS, that doesn't surprise you. And he sent one into left center field that Cespedes didn't see real well, and then it went off the glove and arm of Cespedes for an inside the park home run on a ball that very well could have and probably should have been caught. That's the only run of the night for Kansas City.
That's the only fastball Escobar has seen for Matt Harvey.
Here's a 1-1. Left side in the hole. Flores, long throw. He got him. What a play. And for a guy who struggled with a glove and defensively early on in the year, Alcides Escobar gets a taste of his own medicine. What a play by Wilmer Flores. And that sends us into the 6th inning, game 1. And that got this game underway offensively for the Royals. But since then, Matt Harvey has taken over. And he's doing what Matt Harvey does best, and that is dominate a lineup as the man who was involved in that play in left center field. Yoenis Cespedes leads off, takes a ball from Edinson Volquez here with the Mets leading 2-1 6th inning. Cespedes, then Duda, then d'Arnaud. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wants to keep that ball above the hands of Cespedes. This guy's got the fastest hip since Elvis. Anything inside and down is in the nitro zone for Cespedes. Away and up is where you have to attack.
Here's a 1-1. That is to the left of Escobar and into the outfield for a base hit. Cespedes on for the first time tonight, and that comes leading off in the 6th.
You know, his swing is so simple. There's not a lot of movement to it. Just simple setup. Bring his hands back and then let it fly. And that's why the improvement this year has really worked for Cespedes. Before, he was very vulnerable. 3 years, 4 years of the slider, the ball down and away. He's made that great adjustment, and he's really taken off as a big-time, big league player. Now we're back to that Duda shift again. And in this situation with no outs, I wonder, will we see something similar to what we saw with Murphy being able to go first to third? It just changes how you got to defend when you pull into the shift.
We saw that on Duda's hit back in the 4th inning, led to the first run of the night for the Mets as Duda takes a strike. Lucas now 5 for his last 9 since starting this postseason, 2 for 21. "27 home runs during the regular season." Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Volquez got it by him, strike 2. We had a delay. Not only did our truck go out, but word came down that because there was no video feed, New York and the replay room was not getting what they needed We had a bit of a delay when Terry Collins went out and Ed Yost. They got together, talked to Joe Torre, who is here. And for a while, and I would imagine it's no longer the case, these managers evidently agreed to play the game without the use of replay.
Oh my goodness, no replay? We're going to play?
Going back to the Stone Age.
But Terry Collins was hot out there because he didn't want Matt Harvey standing around. He needs Harvey to go deep into this game, and Harvey is settled in. Duda takes ball 1.
Well, and I think these are the critical innings that you move into. The Royals bullpen can cover 6, 7 to the 8th inning. The interesting thing will be, can the Mets? So the pressure's on Harvey to be able to bridge that gap as deep as they can go to the 8th or 9th inning to their setup guys.
Interesting to see Volquez there with the slide step. With the leg kick, he is very slow to the plate.
The 1-2. Hard hit, right side, base hit.
There goes the third.
Off the glove of Moustakas and going first to third, just like we saw back in the 4th inning, albeit with Murphy running. Over to third goes Cespedes, and it's runners at the corners with nobody out.
Now we talk about the adjustments you're going to see made in this series. I think you see a change here because he's going to get a fastball that runs. Duda stays on it, and he pulls it like they expect him to. But this is a problem. Now you're first and third on a routine ground ball that gets away. Okay, if he dives and it gets by, now you're first and second, no problem. This changes the whole half inning. You got no outs, and a runner goes to third base unscathed. So I think as this series progresses, this is one of the things I will watch and see. Will the Royals say, forget that, we're going back to our conventional style where we've been able to defend all season long.
Meanwhile, Luke Hochevar is getting ready for the Royals out in their bullpen. The Mets went 0 for 8 their first time through the lineup. They had a hit batsman out of that number 9 spot with Kelly Johnson. Since then, 6 for 13. So they've figured out Volquez. They have a lead, and they have a chance to add to it here in the 6th. d'Arnaud, an RBI infield single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Tailing pitch upstairs for ball 1.
See what has happened now. You force Escobar to come in. He's playing basically infield in, and so is Zobrist. Ball hits sharp at him. They might think about 2, but they're now in the 6th inning. They got to start cutting runs off at the plate.
Here's a 1-0. That's a strike.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm watching Cespedes get off at third base, and he's responding to the ball out of Volquez's hand as if a contact play is on, where he will break towards the plate. And with his speed, I love the play.
Mets have a 1-run lead, a chance for more. Here's a 1-1. Ball 2.
Well, they've got the best of both worlds. If you don't send him and they double him up and then he goes when the pivot's turned, you pick up the run. But if he doesn't and you get 1 out, you got Conforto coming up with a runner on third base and 1 out. So they can work it a lot of ways.
Back-to-back singles to start the inning. Cespedes, then Duda. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Upstairs as Volquez doesn't get the call. It's 3-1, and Hochevar is ready to go if needed out in the bullpen.
Ball's up.
Three-1 pitch is fouled back, and what a swing by d'Arnaud.
He's been leaving his off-speed pitches up this entire inning. Change-ups and the spike curveball. Really, none of them have been down.
3-2. Got him looking one away.
Put a little extra giddy up on that fastball. D'Arnaud did not react. Paints it on the outside half, and he just caught him in between. Look at that run that comes back. It looks like it's going to be a ball. That's why you see the reaction with the check swing. But that ball is moving about 6-8 inches coming back over the plate for a strike.
It's a big pitch for Volquez. Now they back up in the infield. The middle infielder's looking for a double play ball. Here's Conforto. In the air to left. Gordon will come up ready to throw. Cespedes coming to the plate. Here's the throw. It's 3-1.
That man stole him a run. The first to third play, I know I'm harping on it a lot, but it changed this whole half inning. That's 2 runs tonight. The Mets have scored on a ground ball to the right side and the runner going to third base.
Conforto gets the RBI. That's his 3rd of the postseason. The throw by Gordon ballooned a little bit, and Cespedes reminds everybody just how fast he is.
You know, when Cespedes came over from Cuba, and there was a workout video, everybody's trying to figure out what kind of player is he. He had this black spandex outfit on, and he looked like the second coming of Bo Jackson. I mean, athletic and fly. The thing that stood out more than anything on his video was how fast he was. And we got a chance to see a taste of it right there.
Now runner at second, 2 out for Wilmer Flores. Alex Gordon out in left. 67 assists since the beginning of 2011. The most in the big leagues, but not here. And that is a diving stop, Moustakas. What a play to save a run. How about that from Kansas City? As Moustakas makes the play to his right and takes a run off the board for the Mets, who have added to their lead on the sac fly by Conforto. We're headed back to our mics. Matt Vasgersian and John Smoltz will return here in the international booth. It's a 3-1 Mets lead in game 1.
Out any better for the Mets. Single scores in the 4th, 5th, and 6th to take a 3-1 lead. And a lead for Matt Harvey to protect here in the 6th inning against Ben Zobrist, Lorenzo Cain, and Eric Hosmer. And the first pitch to Zobrist is lined into the right field corner. Zobrist thinking about a third bag, but instead happy with a leadoff double.
It's almost like the alarm clocks of the Kansas City offense starts right about now. 6th, 7th, 8th. Historic comebacks already, but picking on a first pitch fastball. About 41% of the pitches so far out of Harvey have been fastballs. He's mixed it up beautifully. Runner on second, nobody out. He'd love to keep it just a 3-1 lead. At worst case scenario, 3-2 if they move the runner over and score him.
That double ends a stretch of 10 in a row retired by Matt Harvey. Now Lorenzo Cain. Cain has flied out twice tonight. 0-1. Harvey has yielded just the 3 hits tonight. He has walked a pair, struck out 2. Zobrist really dancing off the bag at second base. The 0-1 is shot through the hole on the right side. They will hold Zobrist at third. Runners at the corners to start the home 6th.
I know it's going to sound like a broken record, but this is what the Royals do. They seize opportunities. They know what being down 2 runs, the importance of hitting the ball and getting a base hit, and the bonus of getting him over to third. It's a breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. He doesn't try to pull it. And you would think that every hitter could do that every single time. Well, not the case, but Cain has been really good at sitting back and taking what the pitcher throws and not trying to do too much.
A very promising start to the inning for Kansas City. As such, Bartolo Colon gets up in the Met bullpen. Terry Collins told us before the game that Colon gets hot in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take him many throws at all. And you're really hoping to trade 2 outs for a run if you're Matt Harvey and the Mets. Hosmer locks in these situations as well as his teammates. 353 coming into this series. Runners in scoring position, even though he's only hitting .222 in the postseason so far.
And Hosmer takes a strike. In 26 career postseason games, Eric Hosmer has driven in a Royals franchise record tying 23 runs. He's tied with George Brett for the most ever postseason RBIs by a Royal, and got to that number in roughly half the games that it took Brett to get there. Big swing and a miss to fall behind 0-2.
Great pitch right there. That's the slider / cutter down, as you see the numbers that Matt was talking about. That's the area. Now he gets tougher with 2 strikes. He doesn't expand the zone as much. He'll fight off the pitches away. Matt Harvey could try to go back in there if he wants and see if he could get that same repeated swing, but this is where Hosmer gets tough.
Oh, 2 pitch into center field. Lagares is under it. Zobrist tags up. He'll score without a play at the plate, and it's a 3-2 Mets lead.
Now that's a huge win for the Royals. 0-2 pitch. Matt Harvey was not able to duplicate and make a good enough pitch to eliminate contact or the fly ball, the sac fly that drives in the run. Matt Harvey on the season with 2 strikes, only 137 batting average against. And you look at this pitch, too much of the plate. See, it doesn't take the turn left. And they know that's going to at least produce a run. And the Royals get to 3-2 deficit.
So now Kendrys Morales, who's grounded out and struck out tonight. A run in, 1 away, and Cain aboard at first.
These are the situations, if you're Matt Harvey, again, you're thinking off speed first. This is an aggressive hitter, always looking to swing and pull and lift the ball. He's gone to his changeup early in the counts with Morales.
Big swing and a miss by Morales.
Blew the heater by him, one of the better ones of the night. 95 miles an hour, outer half of the plate. Not much you can do with it on that side of the plate.
Matt Harvey has issued strike 1 to 17 of the 23 hitters that have faced him to start the night. And it's a swinging strike that puts Morales behind 0-1.
He really has been in total control. I mean, everything that body language, if you're looking as a manager, you're looking at how the ball's coming out of his hands. They've taken advantage of a couple first pitch hits, the double here, the leadoff inside the park home run.
A ball and a strike.
I just love watching the matchups of what you're trying to do, because these hitters aren't so aggressive that you can throw any pitch you want and not have to throw strikes. The Royals make you throw strikes after the first pitch aggressiveness. And what Matt Harvey's been able to do is mix and match his breaking balls, off-speed pitch, with the combination of his fastball.
Again, Cain off first. And it merits another check-in throw. Royals are on the board with a run here in the 6th on Eric Hosmer's Royals postseason franchise record, 24th postseason RBI. There goes Cain. Darno's throw down to second sails, and Cain's got it swiped.
You know, watching it live, I didn't think he got a great jump. But it was good enough with these Royals known for stealing bases. It wasn't the perfect jump, but he picked on the right pitch, and the throw by d'Arnaud is offline. Royals do probably the best job in baseball in base running in general. Not only their stolen bases, but going first to third, first to home.
Back to Harvey. Boy, that would have been the inning-ending double play ball that would have gotten Harvey completely out of the jam. Instead, Cain holds at second, and there are 2 gone now for Mike Moustakas.
How the Royals got here: Cain was at first base in Game 6. Hosmer was up. They waited the entire series for a play that they knew if a ball was hit to the right field corner, that Bautista would throw the ball to second, trying to eliminate the double, and Cain kept running, scoring what would eventually be the winning run. They don't miss a beat. They're prepared as a team. They put a lot of pressure on the opponent's defense and, of course, the pitching staffs.
Mike Moustakas tonight is 0 for 2. Tying run in scoring position with 2 gone. These are situations in which the Royals have excelled. We talked about it earlier tonight. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, Kansas City hit a major league best .278 during the season. Next closest on that list, the Red Sox at a distant .261. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Moustakas.
I'll tell you what, good composure out of Matt Harvey. That pitch was right there, right down the middle. Curveball, fooled the hitter. Umpire decided the ball was low, but the ball had to cross the home plate in a vertical fashion that one would think caught the strike zone, but a 2-0 count. Base open, Perez on deck. You don't have to give in to the count. You still make the quality pitch you think is going to get Moustakas off balance.
Quick throw in his second, very close.
Because of the shift, that makes that play a little bit easier. Directly behind the bag is Flores, so he comes straight in. Usually you go from the side and do a daylight play, but he's more traditionally behind the bag. See how he just has to come straight in. It's easier for Harvey to watch that and make that play without balking or flinching.
2-0 to Moustakas, lined into right center field. Cain will score, and this game is tied.
The only way you're able to do that is if you're a disciplined hitter and stay up the middle on a 2-0 pitch, because that's a 2-0 changeup. So you're either guessing along with them, but the discipline of the lineup allows you as a hitter to stay and not do more than it's capable. If you're aggressive and you're going to attack that pitch, that changeup is going to be a rollover ground ball. So Moustakas and the Royals do what they do best. As soon as they're down, they rally, and they've tied the game.
As soon as they're down. I mean, they give up the run to fall behind 3-1, and before the Mets can blink, it's a 3-3 tie again.
Again, struggling average-wise in the postseason, but hitting with runners in scoring position. They make their hits count. That is just a great lock-in job on a 2-0 count from a hitter who is struggling to get his hits in the postseason, but with runner in scoring position, a huge 2-out game-time RBI.
Salvador Perez now. For Mike Moustakas, 8 hits this postseason, 6 RBIs, to your point, John. Perez has a hit tonight, a 1-out single in the second. He also got clipped on the throwing hand by a foul tip at the plate. No worse for the wear. Into right center field, well hit. Lagares is out there calling for it to retire the side, but the Royals come right back. A couple of runs, 2 runs on 3 hits. Wheat played 6 complete in game 1. The Mets and Royals all tied at 3.
The Mets in this World Series have the strength in the front end with their good, young, hard-throwing starting pitching. And here's Danny Duffy, the left-hander, who fires a strike to Michael Kadire, who was pinch hitting for the DH that started the game, Kelly Johnson, who was 0 for 1. The numbers this postseason for Duffy, hard-throwing left-hander. Fools Kadire, strike 2.
Yeah, Duffy's a guy who started in the rotation. You're absolutely right. The first pitch at 98. As a starter, he was sitting about 94. His stuff definitely playing up out of the bullpen.
Kadire just 2 for his last 26. Bullpens active on each side. Kelvin Herrera getting loose for Kansas City in their pen. Here comes the 0-2. That's foul. Give you our game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Went through it a bit last inning. And you see that bottom line after you look at the pitching lines of the 2 starters, Volquez and Harvey. Escobar, the inside the park home run to start the night offensively for the Royals. Granderson, a solo shot in the 5th, and we lost power in the truck. Still 0-2. So that weird night.
Shot of Harvey in there. You talk about weird, Joe. Giving him 3 runs, his career record 26-1. And he takes a 2-run lead into the 6th, and it all started with an ambush by Zobrist.
And I think the big difference with those numbers, though, is National League versus American League. We're seeing the difference in an American League lineup where you have that designated hitter. I always believe in National League lineup you have the pitcher and the guy who hits in front of him as ways to get out of jams.
Here comes a 1-2 from Duffy. Ned Yost goes to the left-hander here with Kelly Johnson to lead it off, the left-handed batter. Then a lefty, Granderson, the right-hander, David Wright, but then the other left-hander, Daniel Murphy. He's got Herrera out in the bullpen, if anything starts trouble-wise. Now a 2-2. Full count.
You're absolutely right about trouble and Herrera, because it does not matter with Herrera in regards to matching up right or left.
I think Duffy got himself a little bit of trouble. Came out 98 with the first fastball. Then he got a little cue.
Three-two pitch. Got him looking, one away.
Talk about threading the needle. Right down the middle at 97. You're sitting at home. What's he looking at?
Exactly. He had to know that was coming.
He is 97. Tell you, Tom, you're talking about. He pitches about 93, 94. And all of a sudden, you're gauged for that, and you get something 97. It just kind of freezes you.
Here's Granderson, who's putting together a terrific postseason. He's walked and homered tonight. It's his first home run of this postseason, but he's been producing runs, getting on. He's stolen 4 bases. Takes a ball. Last time it happened, 1958. Third time both leadoff hitters have hit a home run in the same World Series game. Granderson went the conventional route over the wall. Escobar, his ball stayed in the park, but he circled the bases without a play at the plate to start the night. Here's a 2-0. 3-0.
You know, Granderson's done a great job of reinventing himself. You know, you're looking for the 40 home runs you saw in New York. You're not going to see it with the Yankees, that is. But he's been a lot more patient at the plate, and he's taken a little simple approach that's taken a couple years for him to get to. Watch the first step. Gets there early, sees the ball, and recognizes it. And he'd been caught in between for about a year. But when you have the same hitting coach in Kevin Long that he had in New York, and he brought him over here to the Mets, I don't know if he did or not, but they've worked together well. Now they've continued that progress.
3-1. Oh, he was looking for something to hammer and just got under it. Rios in right. 2 out. Granderson just missed pounding that. Chevrolet and MLB teaming up to support youth baseball. This year's MVP will receive a Silverado full of baseball equipment to donate to their local youth league. Who will win the MVP? You have to keep watching to find out. And here with 2 out, nobody on, and Wright coming up. Herrera's coming in. Duffy did his job. Those were the numbers coming into tonight's game 1 during the postseason. And this guy can light up a radar gun. Triple digits. That's at 99. Ball 1 to David Wright.
Well, if David Wright had trouble with the fastball last time.
Well, I think he has to sell out for fastball until he gets the 2 strikes. Just sell out. Get started early.
A 1-0. David Wright 0 for 3 tonight. Fouled out, struck out, grounded out. Looking for something on 2-0 and just can't make contact. 2-1.
Well, you got to figure David has not played a full season. Really didn't start playing until about a month ago. And that's why he's a little late on the fastball. He's always been a guy who likes to go right center, but now he's being challenged with one of the best fastballs in the baseball right now.
Three balls and a strike with the home run machine, Daniel Murphy, on deck.
No mystery what's coming right here.
Left side, base hit. And David Wright is on with 2 out here in the 7th. It'll bring in Murphy. And it'll give us a chance to tell you that tonight's telecast is sponsored by The 33 on November 13th. Discover the untold true story. The 33, only in theaters. Well, now it's Daniel Murphy, who has 7 home runs this postseason, has homered in 6 straight for an MLB record during the postseason. 1 for 3 tonight.
Joe, I think this crowd's sensing what you're talking about. This is a moment right here with Murphy at the plate.
Herrera's in a dangerous spot because he hasn't thrown the breaking ball yet. You really do have to mix it up to Murphy much more than to Wright.
Wright got a base hit with 2 out. Now Murphy gets one into center field. David Wright will stop at second. 2 on, 2 out, and Murphy's 2 out of 4.
He threw a changeup, and Murphy was all over it. I mean, Molten Lava wishes it was as hot as Daniel Murphy. Rare changeup from Herrera. And look, he's totally on balance. Well, this guy's from another planet.
Seeing the ball great.
Bottom hand hitter. Top hand comes off the bat with the balance. Guarding against 99 and to be right on time against 90.
Well, it brings in Cespedes. The numbers are phenomenal for the Mets. from the moment they got Yoenis Cespedes from Detroit. One for 2 in his career against Herrera. That's upstairs for ball 1.
You know, the thing about Cespedes for me, you talk about the Mets pitching staff. Great attraction, but you got to have an everyday player you want to watch play. This guy's a star. We watched him run already, watch him throw, swing the bat. He became a gate attraction for them.
And he turned the offense around for the Mets, and that catches the home plate umpire, Bill Welke. The Mets became the first team in MLB history to rank last in their league in runs per game before August, and then lead their league in runs per game from August 1 forward. And since joining the New York Mets, Cespedes went deep 17 times, drove home 44, had 9 go-ahead RBIs, and the Mets were 38-22 since they acquired this outfielder from the Tigers, and that caught the home plate umpire, Bill Welke, in the chest.
And that's right where Herrera has to throw the fastball. It has to be above the hands of Cespedes. Below the hands, you're asking for trouble. Has to keep the fastball at the top of the zone. Great low ball hitter.
Tie game, 7th inning. Cespedes, ball 2. The lead runner is David Wright at second. Daniel Murphy trailing him at first. Cespedes trying to make him run. That's in the air to left. Back is Gordon, and standing still, he has it to end the top of the 7th. And the Mets have left 7. And game 1 is tied at 3 after 6.5. Finished after 6 is Addison Reed, the right-hander, who's been a nice addition to this bullpen and is getting some big outs this postseason. Takes over.
Joe, I think
ran right in there, and Alex Gordon saying he was grazed by the pitch.
Well, they got the replay. See if that's reviewable or not. If he wants to. Here's a look at it. I think he just felt. Sometimes you feel that wind to go by and almost like burns your skin. It's so close. I think this is the biggest challenge for Addison Reed here, because he's facing a team that was in his division when he was with the White Sox, who had a lot of looks at him through the years.
Neither starter will be involved in the decision tonight. That's inside 2-0.
And Joe, Matt Harvey threw just 80 pitches. But for me, this game changed with Zobrist ambushing him leading off the 6th inning. Until that point, Harvey wasn't stressed. Had faced only 4 batters out of the stretch. But once Zobrist got on base the entire inning, the 6th inning, Harvey had to work out of the stretch. We're talking about a guy now more than 200 innings into his first post-Tommy John season. Terry Collins made the decision that he was gassed.
That's off the end of the bat into right, and Granderson is there. 1 out in the 7th.
Well, I think looking at Harvey, also, it's not just innings or pitches. I think you got to look at the stuff too. They're starting to finally get to him.
Give you tonight's Geico in-game box score for the Royals. We had the leadoff inside the park home run by Escobar at the top on the first pitch. And as you work your way through it, RBIs for Kansas City from Hosmer on a sac fly. And a big out 2-out RBI hit by Moustakas, who also made a good defensive play to end the top of the 6th. Here's Rios. Strike 1.
This game's as advertised. This is about as evenly matched a World Series I've heard people talk about in years.
Here comes the 0-1.
And if you told Ned Yost before the game tie game, 7th inning battle of the bullpens, he would have said, where do I sign? Because right now he has Herrera in the game and Davis behind him.
It's been said coming into this World Series, it'll be a battle of whose strength is stronger. Is it the strength of those young starters for the Mets, the strength of the bullpen for the Royals? Here's a 1-1. That is just inside. 2-1. And we've seen the Royals do more of what we saw in the ALCS. Battle, go up there aggressive, put the bat on the ball, play good defense. It's been a thrilling game 1. Here comes a 2-1. Rios pops it up, right side, foul ball. It is playable, and making the play is due to 2 out.
You know, on the other side, too, I think the one thing that we're seeing from the Mets is they've had some really good at-bats as well. And I thought coming in they would strike out a lot more. And early in the year, that's what you saw from them. That's not the same team that has made this run through the postseason. They're putting the ball in play.
Well, it's just a young team, Tom, that's been gathering confidence as it's gone along. I mean, they were trailing in the division at the trading deadline behind the Washington Nationals. They took off. They're not scared. These pitchers are crazy talented. As Escobar's first pitch swinging again, strike 1. But this is a confident, young, dangerous club that's going to be good for a long time now.
No doubt about it. A team that was 48-48. This is a completely different team. By that I mean especially offensively, the depth of the Mets lineup.
You see Escobar, they've been going all off speed with him since the first pitch of the game. Right there saying, all right, you're going to go off speed, I'll drop a bunt.
Here's a 1-1.
Yeah, that's still in order if he wants it. I mean, typically you would say 2 outs, base is empty, it's not a good play. But with Escobar's speed, he can steal a bag. d'Arnaud has not been throwing well late in the season.
Wes Zobrist hits a ball in the gap. He scores.
Here's a 2-1. Got under it. Popped it up on the infield. Wright wants it. And a good inning by Addison Reed. That sends game 1 into the 8th inning. Tied at 3. Taking over in right field is Orlando. Paulo has come in for defensive reasons this postseason. Rios is out. Herrera back to the mound. And the fastball misses up and away to Lucas Duda in a tie game.
And you see the adjustment the Royals have already made. They moved Escobar over where Moustakas was playing, where the balls were hit by him with not as much range. So they've already changed how they're going to defend Duda already part through game 1.
Duda's had a nice game. That is a check swing that he either went around, I believe he did. It wasn't on the pitch. Either way, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And Duda with 2 crisp singles through the right side that has set up scoring opportunities that the Mets cashed in on in the 6th and the 4th. Ball 2. There's a story that's been really present in this game from the very beginning that we are going to get from Ken Rosenthal with regard to tonight's starter Edinson Volquez for the Royals. Duda able to check his swing and the count 3-1 against Herrera.
Well, that's a great layoff by Duda. That ball's 99 and sinking. You just don't see that kind of sink action on a fastball that hard. Watch the ball run off the plate and he's able to hold up on it. It's great movement, and to lay off a ball that coming in that hard, that is very difficult to do.
Duda looking to ride one out of here, and he fouls it right side. Big swing, full count.
He's definitely heating up. That game 4 NLCS, 3 extra base hits on full counts. Here he is again, full count.
With the high leg kick. You can go in and out of consistency. He's hot right now.
Struck him out, one away. And for that story about Edinson Volquez, let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Edinson Volquez is together with his family right now in the Royals clubhouse, together because of some awful news. Earlier today, Volquez lost his father, Daniel, who passed away in the Dominican Republic at age 63. It is not yet clear whether Volquez was aware of the news at the time he pitched. We will know more after the game and, of course, send our condolences to Volquez and his entire family.
Ken, thank you. Volquez tonight, as Darno flies one into center for Kane. 2 out. Volquez got through 6, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. And what we were told by the terrific PR director for the Kansas City Royals, Mike Swanson, during the game was that he was unaware, and that it was his wife's wish that he not be told before or during this start. So with respect to that, we kept that news quiet until he came out of the game. Even though, because of social media, that news was bouncing around out there. That's not our job to break that. In case he were to hear about it, the TV's on in the clubhouse, what have you, from us. Lagares now, his first at bat since taking over in center field. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think that's such a difficult thing. All I can picture was him skipping into the clubhouse today with a big smile on his face, ready to pitch the game. And that's just such a tragic thing to hear. Thoughts and prayers definitely go out to him and his family.
A 1-1, strike 2. Good rip by Lagares. That's one of the best swings of the night.
At 100 upstairs. Wow, that is a great rip. He's right on that.
So
that's the kind of swing that can scare even Herrera off the fastball. We might have to throw him something else. The foul ball straight back. And he did.
Another 1-2. And he did go away from the fastball. 2-2.
If you're Lagares, though, oh well, you throw me a breaking ball, I just tip my cap. I'm just coming out swinging. That was a beautiful swing. But you're right, Tom. It scared him off it.
2-2 now. Breaking ball foul back.
Well, remember, Lagares is in this game for Conforto because Terry Collins was going to his defensive specialist in the 6th inning with a 2-run lead. And now he gets an at-bat in a tie game in the 8th inning against Herrera.
.100 again from Herrera, and Lagares fouls it back.
And he's giving us one of the best at-bats of the night.
Foul one back and he hit one over to the right side. I'm coming back again. I dare you, hit my 100.
Shot at Kevin Long. Mets hitting coach. 2-2.
He has spoiled everything. 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, 91-mile-an-hour changeups, and the breaking ball. And that's why Sal Perez is out on the mound right now. You got anything left to throw?
You know how silly that sounds? 91-mile-an-hour changeup. I mean, how sick is that? My goodness.
for another 2-2 pitch. Tonight's telecast sponsored by MasterPass, your shortcut to priceless. And by Taco Bell, steal a base, steal a breakfast, live Moss. 2 out, nobody on, tie game, 8th inning, 2-2 pitch. That's into center field. What an at-bat by Lagares. Man, that was a battle, and the young outfielder won it.
Wow, you earn yourself some playing time with that? My goodness.
I was going to say, he's swinging the bat like he wants to force the hand of Terry Collins and force his way into the starting lineup.
Back to the heater. And remember, Terry Collins telling us that Lagares, just offensively against right-handed pitchers, not enough of a threat to start him. I think this is the best at bat of the night.
And now Dave Eiland, the pitching coach, will trot out to talk to Herrera before Flores bats. So while they talk on the mound, we'll talk about Colin Cowherd, the most unique voice in sports on FS1 now. Join Colin as he brings you his smart sports talk along with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment every weekday. The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at noon Eastern, only on FS1.
You know, you think about it, that's a great timeout conversation. Herrera doesn't give up a lot of base hits. You know, David Wright got the hit, followed by another one. He's found himself a little bit of trouble again.
Got out of the trouble in the 7th. Now has 1 on, 2 out here, and misses inside to Flores.
This is where I like the stolen base. Against hard throwers, 2 outs, tough to string hits together. There's Herrera checking on him. You're at the bottom of the lineup to play for 2 more hits to score a run because the outfield is so deep. The odds of that are not great. Rather try to get a bag. Play for 1 more hit.
Lagares stole 7 during the regular season. He's going. Throw down by Perez is not in time.
And I tell you what, because he doesn't have confidence in that fastball, he ends up throwing a slider. If he throws his normal fastball at 99, 98, he's out. The difference is he got a breaking pitch to throw, and he's going to be safe by just that little bit. And that was close. But Tom, I'm with you. I love the stolen base there. You know he's going to take a high leg kick to gather himself. You don't see it, but I love the challenge right there. And that's the difference we've seen with the Mets in the postseason.
Second base umpire is Mike Winters, and looked like he got that call right.
Now the outfield comes in much closer, defending the runner on second base, and the blue pit against a hard thrower.
Well, Flores has already made 1 sparkling defensive play in this game. Remember how his season has unfolded, and Ruben Tejada had taken over at shortstop, but he was lost in game 2 of the division series on that slide by Chase Utley. So it's Flores' job. The bigger offensive threat of the 2, and he is late there at 100. It's 2-2. Right side, and it gets through. Here comes Lagares, and the Mets take the lead. Hosmer could not make the play. And the Mets lead at 4-3 here in the 8th.
Joe, he's got great hands, but he trusted his hands too much. He lets this ball bounce another time. And the second hop ate him up.
Yeah, he tried to pick it on the short hop, and it ended up forcing him in between. It's one of those balls, when you get that high hop, you either attack it. The other thought I might have had is maybe square up and knock that ball down. But he does have such great hands. You don't see him miss many balls.
It is an error. And just the second error of this entire postseason for the Royals. And you go back to Lagares. 2 out, nobody on. That great at bat. The base hit into center. The stolen base. And then he scores on that chopper to the right side. Ruled an error on the ball hit by Wilmer Flores. And with that, the New York Mets are back on top. And they just went out for an injury check on Herrera. And Ned Yost is back into the dugout, and Herrera remains on the mound. The batter is the number 9 man, Cuddyer.
And give Flores credit. He ripped a page out of the Royals playbook, shortened the stroke, just put it in play. Maybe something good happens, and it did.
Cuddyer struck out his first time. That hurt. Strike 1.
Well, here you go, pitch by pitch. It was an epic one. Started out with the changeup, breaking ball on the outside, and you're going to see Herrera now try his best bullets to get past Lagares, and he just cannot do it. Conversations on the mound about where to go, 100 miles an hour. He's covering everything in a 10-mile-an-hour window or more, and then finally he wins the at-bat.
He gets a base hit to center, steals second, and scores on the ball put into play by Flores, and now the count 0-2 on Cuddyer. Chased it. Perez will finish it, but the Mets have the lead. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, an error by Hosmer at first, the 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. And it's the Mets on the road in game. I feel like it was unearned after the work done by Lagares, the stolen base, the ball put into play by Flores, and it's 4-3 Mets as Tyler Clippard takes over. Picked up July 27th from Oakland. Had a great start coming to the Mets. 0.46 ERA in his first 20 games. Here's one down the right field line. Fair off the wall. Granderson slips. Zobrist will stick at second with a double. His second of the night.
2 pitches, 2 doubles. Ben Zobrist. Talked about how tricky that corner is. Granderson really actually saved some extra bases by getting back up. See how that ball continues to roll on the wall once it gets stuck there. It will continue around that circle. Granderson slips, and this ball hugs the wall, and it just start running on you. So fortunately, he got back up and was able to keep him at second base.
Well, the scouting report on Zobrist is he's the one Royal who will concede you strike one from time to time. Known for being a very patient hitter, but I'll tell you, once you put on this Kansas City Royals uniform, that goes out the window. 2 ambush jobs.
Tying run at second with nobody out. Here is Lorenzo Cain, 1 for 3. Tried to bunt at a pitch head high, strike 1, just to finish on Clippard. Since the 6th of September, 17 appearances, an ERA of 6.75 with 5 home runs allowed. Right now it's Clippard trying to get it to Familia, who has been lights out, the closer for the Mets this postseason.
And that's why I'd rather see Cain swing here, especially the way he's been hitting the ball to the right side.
The 0-1. 0-2 is Cain, who hit .307 during the regular season, has tried to bunt.
Well, the first one he's trying to push to the right side. You want a ball that's up. He just missed it. And right here, he doesn't get the bunt down. Now he's going to third base.
I almost have to believe he's bunting on his own right there, just trying to make sure he does move up the runner.
Yeah, well, Tom, I think you're right. And talking with Ned Yost, he doesn't like Kane to bunt.
Big numbers there, 6 for 11. Runners in scoring position. They're in the postseason. But set up at 0-2. One away and a big strikeout for Clippard.
Throws this one by him. The 0-2 fastball up. Kane in protect mode. Take advantage of the aggressiveness, the anxiety with a 2-strike count.
Here's Hosmer. He's walked, he's grounded out, he's hit a sac fly. Tying run at second, 1 out. Sac fly moves him past George Brett. The most RBIs in franchise history during the postseason, with more opportunities these days. Strike 1.
Terry Collins showing a lot of confidence in the way Clippard is throwing the baseball. His closer is in the bullpen warm with a nasty splitter to neutralize left-handed hitters. For Clippard, the neutralizer is the changeup.
That's why when he's on, he's tough against left-handers. The 0-1 pitch.
There it is.
80-mile-an-hour changeup, and the count now 0-2.
It's a beauty. Tyler Clippard will throw that glove at you, the elbow, the arm, the long arm swing, and then you keep looking for the baseball, and it's still not there.
Talking to him about that changeup yesterday, and he said he started throwing that when he was age 12 and just continued to perfect it through the years.
Hosmer set up at 0-2. And now Darno is going to go out and talk. So they will talk. Flores gets in on the conversation. The tying run at second. A reminder, tonight's telecast sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. By Fitbit. Find your fit. And by Verizon. Better matters. Here comes a 0-2 to Hosmer. Got it. 2 down. And did you see how high Darno set up on 0-2?
Absolutely. Great game calling by Darno. The strikeout on Kane, the strikeout on Hosmer. Same thought. A team trying to protect, count in your favor, take advantage of the aggressiveness, get them out outside of the strike zone.
Well, and I like how late he's set up, because you got a runner at second base. You're going to stand up. That runner at second knows it's going to be a fastball. You saw how late he popped up on that pitch. Can't relay that.
A lot of confidence in Tyler Clippard with Familia out in the bullpen. 2 out now, and Morales out in front of that changeup.
He can almost tell you it's coming. It's that good. He pulls the string on it, and then that 92-mile-an-hour fastball looks like it's 105.
Terry Collins has not been scared to go to Familia for more than a 3-out save. There's 2 out here in the 8th. Mets up 4-3. Familia stays put in the bullpen. It's Clippard. And Morales. Strike 2. And after the leadoff double, Tyler Clippard could strike out the side here in the 8th.
Well, he's got a huge advantage right now, too, because Morales has not seen a fastball. It's one thing to see it when you're on the on-deck circle. It's another to see it in the batter's box. And now he's seen 2 back-to-back changeups. He may go 3 on you, and you got the fastball you haven't seen.
Another change. This one bounces in, ball 1.
It's one of the things I love about this World Series, Joe. These two teams have not played a lot. Interleague play really hasn't come into play much, so the entire Royals roster has just 11 at-bats against Tyler Clippard. So you're trying to figure out this guy and that mystical changeup on the fly.
Two and two. Zobrist, having been out there now through the at-bat of Kane, the at-bat of Hosmer, and 4 pitches to Morales, d'Arnaud is going to go out there and talk about the signs that he's flashing out to Clippard.
And the one thing when you're at second base, when a pitcher has a changeup as his #1 pitch, that's usually either wiggling the fingers or it's number 4. So that's easy to pick up. And then you figure out the sequence. So I like the change in the conversation there to mix it up.
Who wins this battle, Clippard or Morales? That gets away from d'Arnaud, and the tying run 90 feet away.
Well, you saw that d'Arnaud did not put down a sign, probably planning the next 2 pitches. But certainly that was not in the planning. The wild pitch on the changeup. No sign. Just slipped out of his hand like a bar of soap.
And the danger of that is your infielders don't know what's coming.
Now a 3-2 pitch. Morales walks. We'll see if that's it. Should have a pinch runner for Morales. That will be Dyson. And with Familia ready to go, and with Moustakas coming up, that's it for Clippard, who gave up the leadoff double, struck out the next 2. But the walk keeps the inning alive. And Terry Collins goes back to the bullpen. I think of Orozco, Tug McGraw.
John Franco was great in his day.
Familia, he's their guy. Moustakas takes a strike.
Familia hides the ball so long and it's so difficult to pick up. It's almost like he short arms the ball, and when he goes to that split, very difficult to see.
43 saves during the regular season. His 0-1 pitch. Runner at first goes, ground ball to short. It's Flores, long throw, and he got it. And Familia takes care of the rest of the 8th. The Royals now have stranded 5, and we go to the 9th inning. In game 1, Mets will bat up 4-3.
This is going to be a base hit. So the defense decided we're going to give him second base. They have that much confidence in their closer to get him through the inning. But that's a big no cover right there, Joe.
Ball hit right at Flores. He made the play off the bat of Moustakas. Familia will have the bottom 3 in the lineup. Perez, Gordon, and then Orlando as it sits right now. What will the score be? Mets will be leading by at least 1. Here's Granderson. He's had some good swings tonight. Had a home run back in the 5th. As Hochevar, the right-hander, takes over. He missed all the postseason fun last year. And that run by the Royals coming back from Tommy John surgery. And he has been scoreless through 5 2/3 innings pitched this postseason. Trying to keep it a 1-run game. Top of the order for the Mets. Wright and Murphy will follow. Here comes the 0-2. Ball 1.
These are great looks for the Mets. You've seen Duffy, Now you see Hochevar. You got a chance to see Herrera. Those are the guys you're going to see the most in a 7-game series.
That's easy in the air to left for Gordon. One away. If you go back to that play at first base and the ball hit by Flores with a runner at second, that was Lagares and 2 out in the 8th inning. Here it is in this play at first base by Hosmer, the 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. It went down as an error. And we are told that it's the first time in a World Series game that a team has taken a lead in the 8th inning or later on an error since the Bill Buckner play in Game 6 on a slow roller hit by Mookie Wilson.
I guarantee you, watching that play, Mets Nation all flashback to 1986.
First pitch is strike, and now the next to David Wright, 1 for 4 tonight. He's 2 out of 5. He's on with 1 out in the 9th inning. We mentioned it on Sunday during a football game, and now we show it in Game 1 of the World Series. The ball that got past Buckner to score Ray Knight. And then a win in Game 7. And the Mets had their 2nd World Championship.
You know who's on that team there? The man coaching third base, Tim Teufel.
His first year in a Mets uniform. There goes the runner. Throw down to second is not in time. And a stolen base for David Wright.
We watched the Mets run against the Cubs, and they're off doing the same thing, aggressive and off and running. And I love it because it's an element of surprise. When a guy takes off, you go, oops, what? He took off. But was he out or safe?
And they're going to look at this, and it looked like the tag got on the back of David Wright before the right foot hit the base.
Sure
I
did.
agree with you, Joe. I think that one will get overturned. I like the thought, though. Hochevar really wasn't paying any attention to David Wright. The heart was willing, feet not so much.
He should have ran about 5 innings ago when there's no replay. He'd have been in there.
They play it on the video board here at Kauffman Stadium. The crowd reacts. And that tag is on his back. And if it's overturned, it's 2 out, nobody on with Murphy up. Out.
Tell you what, Salvador Perez had a guy with a great jump. Pitcher didn't hold him, and he came out to shoot and threw a missile down to second base. The footwork was impeccable, and the cannon, just watch him come out of the chute. He's halfway down the line by the time he releases this ball. I mean, you talk about get to a ball and get rid of it quick. Wow.
Now Murphy flies one into left center field. And barring extra innings, his streak of games with a home run during the postseason will end at. Familia back to work. He got out of the 8th inning with 2 on and 2 out by getting Moustakas on a ground ball. Perez, Salvador has homered 4 times this postseason. He was just trying to make it 5 and tie the game.
It was tough to lift that nasty sinker. To right-handers, it's the sinker-slider combination. Once in a while, the splitters for the righties. But everything with tremendous downward movement.
Henry Mejia, a right-hander, was supposed to be the closer this year for the Mets. Suspended twice for performance-enhancing drug use. It went to Familia, and he has been phenomenal. Strike 2. Third in the major leagues with 43 saves.
See that little smile right there? He gave him a little different look. He speeded up his windup on him and was able to sneak a ball by him.
Perez 1 for 3 tonight. To the shortstop, Flores. 1 out.
He did it again. You know, he's not coming with the full leg kick, just a little partial. He's got enough to get on it. So that's a little thing he's been able to mix into his arsenal as well. We see it a lot with Cueto and different pitchers, but watch here. You think he's going to come back set? No, I'm coming right at you right now. Deception is the key.
Here's Alex Gordon, 0 for 2 with a walk. Poured in there low for ball 1.
To think about the difference in this game being an unearned run, how rare that is for Kansas City. The first unearned run they've allowed in 136 innings.
Strike 1 on Gordon.
They had made only one error this postseason. That was an inconsequential 9th inning error in a win.
Gordon in the air to center. Back at the wall. This game is tied. That's the first run this postseason against Familia. Here's Orlando, who took over defensively and right for Rios. Not a bad idea, but he missed it. Strike 1.
I talked about how difficult it is to lift that sinker of Familia. Great job by Gordon, and the quick pitch didn't work this time.
Paulo Orlando with 1 out. Good swing, strike 2.
Well, let's take a look at it. The other thing that happens, you don't gather yourself on the quick pitch right there, and he ends up hanging the ball out over the middle of the plate, and Gordon didn't miss it. Starting to see Alex Gordon get healthy, taking him a little while.
Orlando into right center. Lagares has out number 2 for Familia. His first blown save since the 30th of July when the Mets blew a 7-1 lead against San Diego.
Sinker that didn't sink, just stayed up.
You're talking about Alex Gordon, Harold, who missed 48 games with a tear in his groin. And this ball was off the batter's eye, way over the wall in center to tie it and get Hosmer off the hook.
And Hosmer's saying all that Billy Buckner stuff. Come on now.
Escobar, strike 1.
He's not seeing that fastball.
Alcides with an inside the park home run on the first pitch he saw in the bottom of the first inning. Since then, 0 for 3. As Jeurys Familia tries to keep it 4-4. Off the end of the bat. Duda to the bag. But it's Alex Gordon. 13 home runs during the regular season. He has his second of the postseason. And his shot in the ninth inning ties Wade Davis. What a job he did in Game 6 on Friday night against Toronto. Came on in the 8th inning. The rain hit. He had to sit for an hour. Came back out, got into trouble, and then got out of it. Skips it in there to Cespedes, ball 1.
And I love that reaction by Hosmer. You think about the Royals were so bad they kept getting high draft picks. But the backbone of this team was built on those picks. Hosmer, Moustakas, Gordon, all in the top 3 in the draft. Right there you saw Alex Gordon pick up his fellow lifelong Royal off the hook.
Two 2-0 the count on Cespedes, who's hit 2 home runs this postseason. 17 with the Mets. Gets the corner. Davis does. It's 2-1.
Wow. That's some paint right there. Cespedes looking to spin on something right there. He goes out away with the fastball in the corner. I don't know if he got a gimme pitch or that was just on the black on the corner.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2. Wade Davis over his last 13 postseason appearances. No runs in 16 2/3 innings pitched. 3-0 and 3 for 3 in save chances.
This is a spot for his cutter.
Cespedes didn't look like he was even ready to hit right there in the middle of his little warm-up swing.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Cespedes leading off. 1 away.
And that was the cutter. Really changed his career, that pitch. I think it's one of the best cutters in all of baseball. It's funny, the story behind it is back in 2001 in September. He just decided to start throwing it. He watched Clay Buchholz throw a cutter and he decided, you know what, I'm going to try that pitch. He went out there and threw a complete game. It was back when he was a starter.
Think about the job that these 2 general managers have done shaping these teams coming into the season and within the season. That's a strike to Lucas Duda. Dayton Moore, who pulled the trigger on the trade that brought Wade Davis here. He felt like kind of the throw-in with James Shields when the Royals traded Will Myers down to the Tampa Bay Rays. What they got was their closer. First a setup man, and now the closer after the injury to Greg Holland.
Yeah, you never know how those trades are going to turn out. Seemed to work out pretty good.
Shields a big part of the success last year. Davis the last 2. Strike 2. Two and 2.
The trade started out the James Shields trade. Then it became the Will Myers trade when he was Rookie of the Year. Right now, I got to say it's the Wade Davis trade.
Duda. 2 hits tonight. 1 home run this postseason. That is foul and out of play. Meanwhile, the guy on deck, Darno, came with Noah Syndergaard in a trade that Sandy Alderson made with the Toronto Blue Jays when he sent the reigning Cy Young Award winner R.A. Dickey north of the border. These two GMs have just put their fingerprints all over these rosters. Here comes a 2-2 again to Duda. 2 out.
You know, what makes Davis so tough, Tommy, you're talking about that cutter, is he throws all his other pitches as well. Usually when a guy goes to the bullpen, you start eliminating pitches. Look at how far that ball's breaking. But he'll still throw a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer. He'll throw you a curveball and a changeup, and then he mixes in a cutter. So you've got 4 pitches to protect on.
Here is Darno.
These guys, they don't ever look like they're ready. He's not like quick pitching people.
I saw the same thing you saw with Cespedes, although in slow motion it looked a little different. Again, it looks like Davis is surprising him a little bit with these pitches. Ball 1 that missed down and away.
He's pretty conventional. Set, deliver.
2-0. The Royals in the bottom of this 10th inning will have Zobrist, Kane, and Hosmer. The 2, 3, and 4 batters. Darnell looking for a pitch on 2-0.
So tough.
That's unhittable.
Davis could strike out the side.
Late cut on the black.
Full count. Wade Davis. Back at the Royals and the Mets. Here we are in extra innings of game 1. Escobar, an inside the park home run, started it. That came leading off in the bottom of the first. Granderson, a solo shot in the 5th. Gordon tied it. Familia, first blown save since the 30th of July. And now it's Jonathan Neese pitching on his birthday. First up is Zobrist, ball 1. We came on the air talking about how October 27th is the day in 1985 that the Royals won their only world championship. Zobrist takes a strike. It's also the day in 1986 that the Mets won their second when they clinched over the Red Sox. And now here's Neese, born on that date in 1986, pitching for the Mets. And getting Zobrist on a pop-up. 1 out. Foul ball.
You're not making it up, right?
No.
Amazing.
I really like Jonathan Neese. You look at the number, I think there was a stretch here in this franchise, not necessarily this year, where he really gave them some valuable innings where they were trying to figure out what to do with all their young pitching as it was coming. Pitched through injuries, and he's really been a guy that when they look back on this run, he's been a big part of it.
Well, they have this group in their rotation now, strike one on Kane, that doesn't include Zach Wheeler, who will be back next year and has dynamic stuff. Here's Kane, strike two. And Nice is a guy who's been a starter. I mean, they have an embarrassment of riches in their rotation, and you would figure a guy like Nice could be there for the taking, but he won't come cheap. A strikeout of Kane, 2 down.
No, and the beauty of it is you think, okay, everybody can't pitch in the rotation, but it allows you to move guys to pick up pieces you might need later as well. So,
and you know, Nice is a guy, they gave him 4 relief appearances in September, picked up a couple of big strikeouts in the NLCS, looking more comfortable in that role.
Here now is Hosmer, strike one. He's faced 2 batters so far in the postseason, at least coming in, and he struck them both out. He's got a strikeout and a foul out here in the 10th. And clearly not intimidated. Pumping strikes. It's 0-2.
Well, he was always the guy as a starter for me. The first 5 innings, he was going to be tough. And getting past that, he had his struggles. So that almost says bullpen guy, very effective.
The 0-2. How about that inning from Jonathan Nice? And we've got a bag full of quarters for our generator. We can play all night long. This is some game, and we're seeing the best that these two teams have to offer here right out of the gate.
Great competition, as you mentioned, so closely matched. And also great managing. Very strategic game at this point as well. You see Wade Davis out of the game because Ned Yost has to keep an eye on game 2. If Davis pitches another inning, probably takes him out of play for game 2.
So it's Ryan Madson who has been giving up the home run ball in this postseason. He's allowed 4 in 5 1/3 coming into this game. The last one was the 2-run shot in the 8th inning with 1 out, leading 3-1 as Jose Bautista took him deep in game 6. Here's a bunt. Lagares off the bench, and as he made an impact on to start this 11th with a bunt base hit.
He got the perfect pitch and dropped it down. This isn't a perfect bunt, but he deadened it enough. You want to try to bunt this ball to the line or possibly foul. But you see how far back Moustakas is as a bunter. That just gives you confidence. You don't have to be perfect. You see him square around, does a nice job of getting the bat head out where he wants it. You set your angle, and watch how this ball just bounces off the bat. It just dives. Beautiful.
Now it's Flores. Royals expect a bunt out of Wilmer. And if you talk about confidence, the guy on the mound right now can't be high on confidence with the way his postseason has gone so far.
He's really been bitten by the home run ball. The Mets have had trouble, the position players, getting bunts down this year. And there's a good example why. Just really in poor position to get that bunt down. This has been a problem throughout the season for the Mets.
Well, the key to sacrifice bunting is you got to give yourself up. These guys are getting around too late.
I mean, you see the barrel of the bat is actually behind the plate. There's no way that ball can get down. One word comes to mind with bunting: commitment. You have to have a commitment to catch the ball in your bat with the bat out in front.
Here's the 0-1 from Madson. This is back to the pitcher. The play to first and out on the tag as both Hosmer and Zobrist were there. One away. Down to second is Lagares.
Well, that could have been disastrous. Now, I thought he may have had to play at second base. This ball's bunted back so hard to him. Right here, he's got to play it too if he goes, but he's thinking just get one. And oh wow, Hosmer snatching the ball and taking command over there. They both thought they got the ball. The double pump allowed Hosmer to think he was going to be the guy that drifts back and gets there.
Well, now it's Cuddyer in year one of a 2-year deal. He has been to the plate twice in this game, struck out twice. Trying to be a hero here in game one for the Mets. Just 2 for his last 28 at the plate. Strike one. Madsen, the former closer for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been through 2 Tommy John surgeries. And this was his year back. Counted on heavily for the Royals in their bullpen this season. And he gets the ball here in the 11th. The 0-1. Strike 2.
All good arms in the Kansas City outfield, and a great arm in left field in Alex Gordon. And Lagares has been doing a great job getting a very healthy secondary lead.
Mets 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. Big chance for Cuddyer. The 0-2. Ball one.
Tell you, Lagares looking to steal third, and with Cuddyer struggling, you almost want that guy at second base right now. Just sit there and let me see the ball, please. Don't jump around on me.
And that's 3 strikeouts in 3 at-bats for Michael Cuddyer.
Well, that's his best pitch, the changeup, and he threw a great one right here. You get a swing and miss, the one hand coming off the bat on the changeup over the plate. You've done your job to fool the hitter.
So 3 different pitchers, I believe, he's faced tonight, too, right?
Well, now the conversation is, what do you do here with Granderson right behind him? That's David right behind him. First base open and an empty bullpen. Just 2 relievers left. Medlin is your long man. Thinking about it, a really long extra inning game. Morales, the left-handed pitcher.
Could probably also add the name of Chris Young down there if you wanted to. Here are the home runs, and Madsen has given up. First it was Rasmus. This is Correa. Rasmus again. And then I started to go into it before the bunt base hit. Jose Bautista to tie the game here on Friday night. A 2-run shot in the 8th inning. And the 3-1 game became 3-3. But the Royals won 4-3 with a run in the 8th. Granderson could put the Mets on top as Madsen spins and looks back at Lagares. Escobar talking to Perez behind the plate. Strike one.
Yeah, and Joe, what we're seeing is that's an automatic for Escobar and Perez. If he feels like he's jumping so far off, he's already in a position. All he's got to do is break to the bag. He's not giving up a lot of ground on a ball pitch. So that's just an automatic. You feel like you want to throw, I'll be there.
The 0-1. Scooped up by Salvador Perez. Ball one.
This is a difficult pitch around. Granderson always takes the first pitch. You get a gimme strike. But if the idea is to get Curtis Granderson to chase, good luck with that. He's got such a good batting eye. He'll take the walk if you don't attack the zone.
He's 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position this postseason. To come up with a huge hit for the Mets.
Oh, look at him.
And has to take a seat.
Cutter just chased him right there. You can see how quick Granderson is right here. This is when you're seeing the ball good, believe it or not, how quick he was able to get out of the way of that ball. Not diving. A lot of guys might dive right into that and get hit.
Here comes a 2-1 pitch. 3-1, and I don't think Ryan Madsen of the Royals care at all if Granderson takes a walk.
The way he got out of the way, believe it or not, of that pitch that almost hit him, and then you come back now, you put him on. Seeing the ball too well. You're the Mets, you're saying thank you. 3-1 swing it, Curtis.
I think the Royals are flirting with danger here with Granderson if they challenge him. 3-1. Yeah, it's a walk. 2 on. It's up to David Wright, who's 2 for his last 2.
Yeah, Granderson's locked in right now. David Wright back-to-back hits, starting to swing the bat. Caught a couple fastballs, was able to turn the bat, so it looks like he's starting to swing it a little bit too. But I think between the two, you want to take on David Wright.
See that last pitch on 3-1. Called ball 4, and it's 2 on for David Wright, playing in his first World Series game, and the Mets are looking for the go-ahead RBI from their captain. He has seen Ryan Madson a ton from Madson's time in Philadelphia. 8 out of 26, 3 home runs. It's going to be for David Wright. Ball 1. Wright's first full year in the big leagues, 2005, at 306, 311 with that playoff team in 06. It was 1 win short of the World Series, and here he is. 9 years later. Ball 1. Ball 2. 2-0.
Wright looks good. He looks good at the plate. Real comfortable.
Franklin Morales getting loose with Murphy, the left-handed hitting second baseman, on deck. Wright on 2-0 takes a strike.
Now you think about David Wright, long history with this club, but what it takes for him just to get on the field every day now, coming back from that back injury. Hours of work, even on the off day yesterday, getting here at 11:30 for a 3 o'clock workout.
Good speed out at second with Lagares, the lead runner, 2 out. 2-2. .97 from Madson.
It's been the same story on Wright. Velocity, keep it away. The temptation is to go with Madson's best pitch, the changeup, but I think he has to stay hard away.
Well, and I keep looking at Ben Zobrist. If Lagares wants to steal third right now, let him go. He keeps moving to second base. You open up the whole right side for anybody to hit the ball through. Now he's staying back.
Well, I'm with you. He's moving around before the pitch, and you can see Wright having a tough time getting around, even though on that last pitch it was a 91-mile-an-hour pitch, but he looks like he's up there shooting it to right.
Yeah. I just, that was pounded in my head. I can hear Dick Williams right now going, leave him alone! Leave him alone! Get back!
That lead man is Lagares. He is at second with 2 out. The 2-2 again. Hook foul.
Battle. We always talk about the player seeing the pitcher a long time, how familiar you become. It's also the same thing with the pitcher, too. The numbers we always look at and say he's had great success, but you look at the other side of it, the pitcher saying I've got him out a number of times too.
8th pitch coming. He's got him set up for the fastball.
On 2-2. Got it. And game one will stay tied into the bottom of the 11th. With Morales, Moustakas, and Perez. Jonathan Neese was impressive in the 10th. Here he is in the 11th, trying to send it to the 12th. A lot of guys crossed off on those lineup cards. Here's Dyson with a fly ball into right. Granderson's got it. What a catch by Curtis Granderson to rob Dyson in his first at bat of extra bases. One loud out.
Tell you what, it didn't look like Granderson had a chance at that ball from our vantage point. Dyson splitting the gap on him, but because he's playing no doubles, it gives him the angle to run this ball down. Had he been playing earlier in the game, you see barely up the end of the glove. Earlier in the game, he's probably playing him in more.
I mean, with the way Dyson can run, if that ball rattles around at all against that wall, we may have another inside the park home run.
Well, we know it's for sure 3 and possibly a 4th.
And by the way, Dyson came in a pinch run for Morales in the 8th after his walk. He was stranded, so he gets an at bat. Dyson now 0 for 2 this postseason. Watch this guy just fly.
He knew he had a gapper too, man. He knew he had a gapper. Doesn't he look like Ozzie Smith?
Yeah.
That number 1, he runs like Ozzie.
What a catch by Granderson. What a play. Here's one to the left side off the bat of Moustakas. And sidearming it across is David Wright. 2 quick outs.
And I'm glad you bring up the sidearm from David Wright. Because of all the back problems he's had, that's the delivery he's had to go to be able to get the ball over without putting a lot of strain on his back. He's done a lot of things to try to make sure he can stay on the field, and that's one of them. Instead of getting on top, flip it down to the side.
Here's Salvador Perez. We've had the first game-tying World Series home run in the 9th inning or later since Scott Brosius in 2001 in that great World Series. Yankees and the Diamondbacks, he went deep. Last one to do it was Game 5, Brosius. Tonight, Alex Gordon with 1 out in the 9th to tie it at 4. 2 out, Perez. Ball 1. Salvador 1 hit tonight, 4 home runs this postseason. Ball 2.
The first swing, and he will swing, will be a home run swing. 2 outs, bases empty. You let it loose.
There's Chris Young, scheduled starter for Game 4. That's down 3-0 with the latest hero here in Game 1 on deck.
I was wondering where the Royals might go if this game continues. You got Neese who can go a little distance for the Mets.
3-0 pitch. He's swinging. It hits the bag. That's a base hit.
They're aggressive. 3-0. You can't defend the line on that one.
And I think David Wright has an out in order right there. He was guarding the line. If that ball does not hit the base with Perez's lack of speed, they're off the field. End of inning.
I even thought after the carom off the bag, if Flores catches it in the air, he's still out of first base.
Here comes Dan Warthen, who actually predates the manager Terry Collins with the Mets. Warthen's been with the organization at the big league level as the pitching coach since 2008, in his 8th year. Meanwhile, Terry Collins is in his 5th year as the manager. He was with the organization and player development prior to that, and coming into this, his 5th year, it had been 4 straight losing seasons for Terry Collins, albeit with an undermanned roster. And now it's all blossomed in front of everybody's eyes with this young pitching. And Collins has really handled this 2015 season well. It's lefty on lefty. Nice against Gordon. Winning run at first at Salvador Perez. No speed whatsoever, and that's why he's got to be shocked that they even threw over.
I am. Lefties actually have hit Nice better. It doesn't really have that big breaking ball you'd like to see on a left-on-left situation.
Gordon homered in the ninth to tie it off Familia. Nice pitched a scoreless inning on his birthday. Now here he is on the 28th here in the Central Time Zone. Strike one. Here's the home run.
Well, here's the home run. We'll do it StatCast style for you. This ball, the exit velocity 107 is excellent. 438 feet. Obviously, that's a long home run. And in this night that we're in right now, he hit that ball pretty hard. StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services.
That is strike two off the bat of Gordon. Actually, off the bat and then off the foot.
Well, he's had the balls ricocheting everywhere this week. Earlier in batting practice in the week, he hit a ball off the cage, back off his nose. Last series, he had another ball that bounced up and hit him. This one, ouch, off the toe.
The Mets really don't have a matchup left-hander in their bullpen. Nice just misses outside. Bartolo Colon is up right now. And time is called over at first. Jerry Blevins was a left-hander. Maybe not that well known. But early in the year went down with an injury, and they really haven't been able to fill that lefty-on-lefty role. But what a job Nice has done here tonight in Game 1 of the World Series. And we will play at least 12. But how about the play by Granderson to start this inning, and a ball hit by Dyson.
It's the hair game, Joe.
It really is. Here's Murphy in strike one.
And then I get a sneak preview at the Game 4 starter for Kansas City. All right, there's the hair battle to be continued in Game 2.
Now, I don't know how long DeGrom's been growing his, but Johnny Cueto told me he's been growing his for 7 years.
Chris Young takes over, and he is met by Daniel Murphy. And I said after his last at bat that barring extra innings, that streak of homering in 6 consecutive postseason games was over, and here we are in the 12th, and here he is at the plate. A 1-1. Strike two from the tall 6'10" right-hander, who is not a hard thrower.
Well, you heard Murph talk about, was that ball down? Sliders down, four-seamers up from Chris Young.
Here's a 1-2. By the way, if I did mess up earlier, and I'm sure I did, because Twitter will tell me if I did, but it's locally, it's now 20 after 11 or in that neighborhood. 20 after 12 in the East. So Nice is still pitching here locally on his birthday. Here's a shot foul. This game has, can you say it all the time? We've seen everything. Well, we've seen pretty much everything. Starting with an inside the park home run to start the night off the bat of Escobar. Now 2-2 on Murphy.
Well, I was going to say, Joe, I can't blame you for losing track of time. I think Stephen King called in and said, I can't believe how imaginative this game is.
It has, well, we even lost power at one point during the middle part of the game. But it's been more than made up for. Here's a 2-2. A swinging strike three. The ball bounces right back to Perez. 1 out.
And what a play. This ball, talk about all the things we've seen, it barely misses the umpire, and it barely misses the bat when it ricochets back. There's so many things that could have happened on this ball. Watch it come off the wall. Misses the umpire, and it just misses that bat. It hits the bat, it's going to kick, and he doesn't have a play at first base.
I mean, are you kidding me? I wasn't. Stephen King is shaking his head like I said. We've seen balls hit bags. That one just carried right back to Perez. Couldn't have come back to him more perfectly than that. Crazy stuff going on.
One out here in the 12th. The batter is Cespedes. Boy, you bring a guy like Chris Young out of the bullpen after you've seen Madsen and Davis and Hochevar and Herrera and Duffy that all are throwing 95, 96, 98, 99, 100 in the case of Herrera. And this is the guy that body type you would think is going to be right there with him, but that's as hard as you're going to see him throw here tonight, 90 miles an hour, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I was just thinking that if anybody profiles somebody that's going to throw 100 miles an hour, it's a 6'10" pitcher, right?
Well, the end of games is about velocity, 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 and here we are in game 1. John Neese, Chris Young. If they break 90, that would be a lot.
The 1-1 skips in.
Cespedes is looking froggy though right now. It's a good swing early. Dancing in the box.
So froggy's a good thing?
It's a good thing.
The 2-1 pitch. 3-1 from the 36-year-old right-hander from Dallas, Texas. Didn't get a decision. Didn't go the 5 innings, but big part of the 14-2 win for the Royals in Game 4 of the ALCS. Full count.
They have really done a nice job of exploiting that ball up and in on Cespedes in this game tonight.
It's an optical illusion from Chris Young. The high release point at 90 gets it past hitters.
That's back here.
He gets tremendous backspin on that 4-seam fastball. What backspin does is fight gravity, so the ball doesn't sink as much as hitters expect.
Another 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. 2 down.
Excellent pitch. The other thing, Tom, what happens with him being 6'10" is he changes your eye angle. And that's what happened to Cespedes. You think that's a high release, you're going to get a fastball. And the next thing you know, the ball's dying before it gets to the plate.
It's a great point. One of the few pitchers that works on changing the strike zone vertically. Most pitchers horizontally, stretching the plate inside and out. He wants to change the eye level and work up and down.
This to me is a good matchup for Duda. He has 2 hits. He's hit the ball hard twice. He homered in Game 4 of the NLCS. And the first one bounces in there from Young.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that slider. Make sure he keeps it away from Duda. To have that break into the barrel becomes a very dangerous pitch.
That can hit him a long way. 2-0. On deck is the right-handed hitting catcher Travis d'Arnaud.
Joe, it looks like Young's thinking right along with you. He didn't want any part of Duda.
I'm getting a kick out of where Orlando's standing in right field. He'll be warming up in the Mets bullpen if he's a couple of steps back.
Here comes the 3-0 as he's swinging.
Trying to walk him in, he can't.
Let's see if that guides Young back into this battle with Duda. 3-1. 3-2. Duda has yet to take a hack. Young could strike out the side. And nobody is sitting in this stadium. spoiled it. Bullpen with 10 strikeouts tonight. Struck out the side. Chris Young out there in this gorgeous ballpark as we go to the bottom of the 12th inning. And here is Bartolo Colon. He's been good out of the pen this postseason in 4 games. The ageless one. First up, Paulo Orlando. Colon. Strike 1. About that. 14 years, 12 days between postseason wins. Longest gap by any pitcher in Major League Baseball history. And he has been a good middleman for Terry Collins in October. The 42-year-old brings it and hits the outside corner, strike 2.
He can do that with the best of them. His control, you watch him time and time again over a course of a season. It's mind-boggling how good his control can be.
Here's a 1-2. Orlando can run right. Too late. Orlando on to start the 12th.
Talking to Orlando yesterday, he was on the Brazilian junior national team. He was a track star, 100 and 200. Didn't start playing baseball till he was about 12 years old. And he has got some speed.
He just ran the 90. And with those 90 feet, beating the throw from David Wright, it's a base hit. And the batter is Escobar.
Should be a bunt situation. Guy that handles the bat very well.
That almost handcuffed Duda at first. Reaching for it, the bunt, the play at first. Murphy got there in time, 1 away. Down to second, the winning run, Orlando.
You're deading the ball right in front of the plate. This is an excellent bunt. Watch where he deadens this ball. When you're going to bunt a ball and deaden it right in front of the plate in that dirt area, the ball will die for you. And that's exactly what he does. You don't have to worry about direction as much as dying it and killing that ball, keeping it from being bunted back hard at the pitcher. Did the job.
Well, now Zobrist. Zobrist tonight with a pair of doubles. On deck is Kane, and they're going to walk Zobrist.
I mean, you have to. You got to set up a double play ball and give yourself a chance to get out of this.
The guy on deck is tough to double.
He has grounded into 16 double plays. That's Bartolo's Colon. His game is to throw ground balls. This is the right percentage move.
Bartolo Colon with 218 big league wins. That's the active leader now, with Tim Hudson announcing his retirement. He had 222 in his terrific career. And here comes Kane. And Lorenzo Cain, who has 1 hit tonight, could win it with a base hit for Kansas City here in the 12th.
And again, throughout this postseason, anything away, he has hit the other way. Curtis Granderson in right field, the weakest arm out there. That would be an easy send for Mike Jirschele, the third base coach.
Jirschele's already proven he is aggressive at third. He sent Kane with nobody out in the 8th inning of Game 6 on the single by Hosmer for the winning run.
Yeah, I think the only questionable guy that you even think about not running on is Cespedes, that would have a play on Orlando at the plate. Other than that,
winning run at second, 1 out, 12th inning. Kane, ball 1. To the right side, Duda to the bag, 2 out. And the runners advance to second and third.
That was a great job by Colon. Really got it in his kitchen at 88 because knowing that Kane had that outside approach throughout the series. Watch the run on this two-seamer back into his hands. Kane not prepared to handle that because he's thinking the other way.
Well, this sets up something that's interesting with first base open. You've got a proven RBI man in Eric Hosmer, who has 24 career postseason RBIs. And because the Royals pinch ran for Kendrys Morales, it's Dyson on deck, who is 0 for 2 this postseason, lined out to right his last time up. And it's going to be a battle between Colon and Dyson. See if this game extends to the 13th or if Kansas City can win it here in the 12th.
That's a great point, Joe. When you have a choice between an RBI guy and a table setter, you pitch the table setter, especially when you have confidence in Colon with the bases loaded, with his uncanny control that he will throw strikes.
well, plus you look at Dyson's had what, 2 at bats, you said?
Yep.
And that's a no-brainer. You got to go do that. So they've made 2 decisions, and now Terry will have another conversation. But they've made 2 moves tonight in this half inning, walking guys that were the right situation to set up their inning.
Dyson predominantly on this roster to pinch run. He can absolutely fly. Not saying that he can't hit, but that's his role in the postseason as it was a year ago. This is a lineup that there are really no holes in it. So you're looking at a guy coming off the bench to add speed.
And that speed puts tremendous pressure on the infielders. Any slight misplay by an infielder and the game's over.
Good speed with the lead runner in Orlando. Bases loaded, 2 out. Jarrod Dyson. Ball 1.
Well, you know Colon's going to throw strikes.
Good swing by Dyson on a pitch that was up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jarrod Dyson during the regular season hit .250 and 50 hits, 200 at bats. Drove in 18. Biggest at bat in his life right here. Ball 2.
Mottola just chew and go. Walk in the park.
Has not issued a bases loaded walk in 4 years. Bartolo Colon.
That'll get out of play. 2-2. This is when the game of baseball is at its best. Game on the line, a guy on the mound with the ball in his hand and a guy at the plate with a bat in his hands. May the best man win. And that man, barring an error, is Colon. Lagares. Let's go to the 13th inning. Here in game 1, as the Royals leave the bases loaded, Colon, a score, be the longest game 1 in World Series history. Down at the bottom, longest games by inning. We're approaching that as d'Arnaud leads it off against Chris Young, playing in the 13th inning. Young struck out the side in the 12th. 1 ball, 1 strike. So here's Chris Young coming to the ballpark today, thinking he's just going to hang out and think about what it's going to be like pitching in Game 4 of the World Series at Citi Field. And he's in the ball game. And after striking out the side in the 12th, he's got d'Arnaud set up at 1-2 here to lead off the 13th.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris before the game in the clubhouse, and Scott Bradley, who's his college coach at Princeton, he's in town, and he was catcher on my teams in Seattle, so Scott's one of my good friends. He's like, hey, Coach Bradley's here. I'm like, oh, great, I'll catch up to him later. He said, yeah, we'll see you after the game. He was just relaxed and chilling.
No doubt.
Not anymore.
Well, you wouldn't know it by looking at him.
By the way, Chris finished that degree at Princeton after he got drafted, reported to the minor leagues, wrote his senior thesis, riding the buses in the minor leagues on the Hickory with the Hickory Crawdads.
Multiple shoulder procedures in his career, and he misses upstairs to even the count at 2-2, and then found out that it was a nerve issue. Had that taken care of, and he's been fine ever since. Here's a 2-2. Left side. Escobar. 1 down. Game 2 is Wednesday night, depending on where you are, either later tonight or tomorrow. Game 3 after the travel day on Thursday is Friday in Queens. Saturday on Halloween. And then you get into the if necessary Sunday night after a Fox NFL doubleheader on America's Game of the Week. That's a strike in a matchup of Seattle and Dallas. Cowboys have lost 4 straight. Chris Young's Cowboys have lost 4 straight. That's up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm told that it's a triple header. We're starting in London in the morning, and then the typical back-to-back on Sunday afternoon on Fox, and then baseball at night if there's a Game 5. 1-1. Lagares has had an impact. Up on the count, 2-1. He's the second player to come off the bench with 2 or more hits and a stolen base in a World Series game ever. The other was Dave Robertson with the Giants in 1917. 2-2. In Game 5, he replaced Jim Thorpe.
What?
We are wearing out the Wayback Machine tonight.
Jim
Thorpe, Patsy Donovan, Rodarty, and the longest Game 1 out of 111 World Series.
Here's a 2-2. How about Chris Young? Faced 5, retired 5, 2 out.
He did such a marvelous job right there. Starting with the fastball away for a strike, then knocked him back in. He just had him in a little bit of a rocking chair and perfectly set up this changeup that just died. And this thing looks like it's a cutter, but it almost looks like a changeup and a split. He throws it at such a slow velocity that I'm thinking it's a changeup. Can you see the grip?
The 2 out, nobody on. Flores hits it down the line but pulls it foul.
That'll get your attention.
He's no stranger to the home run ball. Hit 16 during the regular season, and he's made a couple of good defensive plays in this game 1.
That's why you have to keep the ball away.
Wilmer Flores is the guy, almost, the whole trade that happened that didn't happen. He's really developed in a guy they're fortunate they kept.
Strike 2. He thought he was on his way to the Brewers for Carlos Gomez. That trade fell apart. It was pending a physical. And the Mets ended up with Cespedes. And Flores stays put. He gets a good swing, 1-2.
This kid's going to be a really good big league player. He's just starting to get into it. Go ahead, Joe.
Here's that week that changed the season. Flores thinks he's gone. Had tears in his eyes. That trade was voided. Then that game that they blew against San Diego. Padres trailed by 6 runs. Here he is on July 29th, thinking that his days with the Mets were over. That trade gets voided, and they end up with Cespedes. They ended up, I think, with the best guy, the most impactful guy they could have gotten.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out any better.
Here's a 1-2 again. Popped up behind the plate. Out of play.
What people didn't understand about Flores' reaction is he signs at 16 years old with the Mets. And that is all he knew. That's family. And he wasn't expecting to be traded. So that's why you got the reaction. It was also the way it all went down. Here's about it on the field.
Another 1-2. Tom, he was in the deal with Zach Wheeler, who was a dynamic starter. And in the end, after that trade gets voided, they end up keeping not just Flores, but they don't have to give up Zach Wheeler.
The best trade, sometimes the ones you don't make.
2-2 pitch. Full count.
Cespedes actually the 4th option when the Mets went shopping for a bat. Started on Jay Bruce. Went to Justin Upton. Then actually that completed deal or tentative deal for Gomez.
So now Flores waits for a 3-2 from Young. He's getting good hacks.
He's getting great swings. I don't know if he has the stuff to put him away right now. He's been on everything.
Probably not. Flores, along with Daniel Murphy, just crazy good hand-eye coordination. Very tough to get him to swing and miss.
Neuenhuis on deck. 3-2 pitch. Upstairs for a 2-out walk and a good at bat by Wilmer Flores.
Started off just missing a foul ball home run. Then he missed a double down the line. He just didn't have the stuff to put him away. Good at bat.
Neuenhuis hit 4 home runs during the regular season. Hit 208. And he is batting for Kadire. He'll take over the DH spot. What an unpredictable, crazy year it's been in college football, where every week brings another stunning upset and crazy finish. This Thursday, 5th-ranked TCU will try to stay undefeated and make a strong showing in their last game before the playoff rankings are released. Should be a shootout. West Virginia, TCU, Thursday at 7 Eastern. Only on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, now 1 on, 2 out for Neuenhuis. There's his regular season numbers. 0 for 2 this postseason.
You see the 4 home runs there. July 12th, he hit 3 homers in 1 game. And that was the first Met had done that against Arizona. I remember that game. It's crazy.
Holds it high and takes a strike. In the bottom of this 13th, it will be Moustakas, Perez, and Gordon. 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Here comes an 0-1. Strike 2. Left side, Moustakas. Chris Young with 2 scoreless in the books. Bottom of the 13th inning, rolls in. In case you're wondering, the Mets have Sean Gilmartin left in their bullpen, a lefty. Hansel Robles, a right-hander. And if the Mets wanted to go to their Game 4 starter, Steven Matz is scheduled to get it, the left-hander.
I don't think he's available. You know, he pitched a simulated game yesterday, threw the ball hard, aired it out.
This one is fouled left side, may stay in play, and it is just out of the reach of David Wright.
Well, and if there's one guy going to the rail you worry about, it's him. That whole dugout should have been up there ready to catch him as frail as his back has been.
And when I asked Terry Collins about using Matz in relief in these games 1 and 2, he said we can't do that to the kid. He's not trained to pitch out of the bullpen. He's had some injuries late in the season. We will not put him in that circumstance.
So then they're down to 2. 1-1 pitch. In at the knees from Colon, strike 2.
Bartolo can throw all night. They keep running him out there. He can throw all night.
Here's a 1-2. That's in the center field. Leadoff man is on for Kansas City. Second hit of the night from Moustakas.
And his 4th in 5 career at-bats against Colon.
I was watching him take batting practice in the cage earlier today because they didn't have batting practice on the field. And he was working on just going back up the middle. That's the second hit of the night where he's gone back up the middle. A lot of hits in the middle part of that field.
RBI hit to center with 2 out in the 6th inning that at the time tied it at 3. Perez pops it up. Out into shallow center, and it's Flores. 1 on, 1 out. Talking about the 42-year-old Bartolo Colon.
That's not him.
That's him. Indians played in the World Series that year. He was not on the roster.
Here's something that may surprise you. We talk all about these young starters for the Mets. The most flexible guy in this entire team is Bartolo Colon. They are amazed, almost like a hockey goalie, the way he can get down and do splits.
See, I thought for sure you were talking about he can start it, come out of the bullpen. You know, he can do anything. You mean like stretching flexibility?
I'm telling you, he's much more athletic than that body would lead you to believe. And the fact that he can repeat his delivery at this age is a good clue to that.
1 on, 1 out. Alex Gordon could have a massive night with something big here in the 13th. That shot in that baseball card was from 1997. Colon with the Indians. Popped up left side, out of play, strike 1. You talk about the athletic ability for a guy who's put on some pounds since '97. How about that little behind the back flip?
That was too sweet, man. That's one of the plays of the year.
I just like the way he kept going towards the dugout. There was never a doubt in his mind he had that.
Well, we saw him pop off the mound early in this game, making a play on a bunt.
He fooled Gordon. Down to second, Moustakas 2 out.
As little as that seemed, got a runner in scoring position.
And it sets up Paulo Orlando, who is 1 for 2 since entering in the 8th.
And we've already seen it, Joe. Ground ball, extreme ground ball pitcher on the mound, and a guy out of the right-hander's batter's box can fly down the line. Nothing routine about a ground ball with Orlando at the plate. Here he is before. That's a pitch away where it's almost got a running start.
Orlando can end this with a hit. 4-4, 13th inning. Colon. Ball 1 outside.
Again, Granderson in right, Lagares in center. You run all day on those guys. Lagares had the bad arm this year. Cespedes is going to be bang bang at the plate, even with 2 outs, running on the crack of the bat with Moustakas at second.
Here comes a 1-0. Orlando. Good swing. A ball and a strike.
I was talking to Orlando when he left Brazil. He went to the Dominican Republic to play baseball, so he had to learn Spanish, and then when he signed, he learned English. So speaking 3 languages now, fluently.
He's been at it in the minor leagues for a long time. Getting his chance, trying to be a World Series Game 1 hero. Flores stays down on it. No problem here in the 13th. For the Mets shortstop, or the 42-year-old Bartolo Colon, 4-4 into the 14th.
Impressed with Harvey tonight because he kept him in the game and didn't have his good stuff.
Good news, Joe, is that Frank and Pete just ate a whole bucket of popcorn. Back to you.
Yeah, poppy.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Guys, as we go into the 14th inning, here is Granderson. He is homered tonight. Took a ball, now a strike. He's also walked twice. On base 3 times in game 1. Staying down on it is Hosmer, 1 out.
Got a little snow cone on that one too.
Alex, you still with us out there?
I am.
You know, it's funny. I was going to ask you if we got this opportunity, how the game has changed since you came up. I mean, it seems like it hasn't been that long, but I guess it has. How you get one power arm after another. That's what this World Series is going to feature. And yet right now on the mound for Kansas City is this big 6'10" guy who's touching 90 with his fastball. Kind of a changeup so far in this matchup.
Yeah, especially when you're 40, Joe. It's a lot harder to hit 96, 97. But, you know, facing Chris Young this year, I mean, he's 6'10". He's like a basketball center. And you're expecting 97 and you get 87. But the one thing about him, facing him, is his fastball comes from a very high arm angle, and the ball never comes down, so you get a lot of swing and misses. But on the breaking ball down,
Here's one into left center field, off the bat of right, and out into the glove of Gordon, 2 down.
Yeah, and on the breaking ball down, the one thing is very, very hard to pick up rotation. That's why he gets so many swing and misses and strikeouts.
Hey, Alex, I want to ask you about playing in this ballpark, how big it plays, and as a hitter, does that affect you, particularly being a home run type of guy? And we're getting ready to watch Murphy, who's homered in the postseason a lot this year.
Yeah, it's a very spacious stadium, and it's definitely a pitcher's park. And the one thing as a hitter, you just try to hit line drives, line to line. Sometimes it just keeps you focused on hitting the ball back up the middle.
Well, here is Murphy, and that was trying to homer in his 7th consecutive postseason game. Alex, thanks. It's been fun watching you and the guys this postseason, and we will hear from Alex after this one, and then setting up tomorrow night before, as they said, Jacob deGrom takes on Johnny Cueto. Here comes the 0-1 pitch.
You know, Alex said something interesting about the release point of Chris Young. It's almost 7 feet off the ground. Hitters just are not accustomed to seeing the ball come out of that window. Now, Chris Young dominates hitters in a game. The first time he goes through the lineup, the numbers begin to go up as they get more of a look.
First guy he faced was Murphy, and now he gets him again on a pop-up. Struck him out the first time, pops him up here in the 14th. Let's go. Bottom of the 14th here in game 1. Top of the order coming up for the bottom of the 14th, and it's the top of the order for the Royals, and that means the red-hot Escobar, Zobrist, Lorenzo Cain against Bartolo Colon. Here we go. Strike one.
Tell you what, Joe, I've been so impressed with the Mets bullpen. We knew about the Royals bullpen, and you heard it all season long. But for them to come in and do what they've done, keep this game where it's at.
That is strike 2. Reed, Clippard, Familia, Nice, now Colon. And they have 2 left out there. Meanwhile, Kansas City has Franklin Morales and Chris Medlin left in their bullpen. Royals have gone to their game 4 starter, Chris Young. That's fouled right side. Out of play.
Well, you think about it, the Mets went to the bullpen, Terry Collins, after 80 pitches by Harvey. And I'm not questioning the move. I thought it was the right time because it looked like they're going to start to get to Harvey a little bit. But I don't think anybody's expecting this bullpen to sit here and hold them for this long a period of time.
Well, to me, this is Colon's game. I know you said 2 others in the bullpen, but he looks like he can pitch all night and now all morning.
Here's the 0-2.
Wow, what a play over the dugout.
We're 5 hours into this game, and that guy just made the defensive play of his life. He saved that guy's beer behind him. There's not an empty seat in this place. For the most part.
True.
0-2 pitch again. Oh, watch out, Ben Zobrist. That whistled right by his head.
Tell you what, that's what good hitters do, though. You spoil a tough pitch to try to get yourself in a position where you might get something else.
The 0-2. Now to third. Wright has to hurry. He pulls him off the bag. Leadoff man is on for Kansas City. And an error opens the bottom of the 14th.
Talked about how David Wright has to throw the ball. He has to come down, try to drop down and get rid of it, and that ball's going to sail on him, and that's what pulls Duda off the bag.
So there's the winning run at first with nobody out, and Zobrist at the plate.
See how Ned Yost wants to play it. I would let Zobrist hit.
Ball 1.
And the reason is he's a top-hand hitter, can very easily pull that ball against Colon through that hole on the right side.
And that's what you're doing as a left-handed hitter. You're looking to try to pull that ball between first and second, particularly with the first baseman holding the runner.
Good pitch from Colon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Would they dare hit and run?
Well, you certainly can, because Colon is around the plate and does not get a lot of swings and misses. That adds up to not a high risk. Tougher to play hit and run against a swing and miss pitcher or a wild pitcher.
Colon, when he was a young big league pitcher, was known for maintaining high 90s velocity deep into games. Different pitcher these days as he misses outside. 2-1.
You know what? I think that was almost a purpose pitch by Colon, anticipating the hit and run. You saw him throw over, This ball, he doesn't miss by this much. That was by design, thinking that he may be swinging. Now's the time you really want to put this on.
Yeah, now's the count to do it. 2-1.
That's a base hit into right. Escobar will head to third. Winning run 90 feet away. First and third, nobody out.
Well, that's why Zobrist is so dangerous. After you came off the hit and run, he's looking to hook a ball right through that 4-hole, and it's an instant first and third situation.
Now that's Ned Yost knowing his personnel. The swing of Zobrist is designed to get on top of that ball and to pull it when Colon is trying to do everything he can not to use that hole on the right side.
Slipped on the top of that slick bag at third. And now Colon is in a jam. First and third, nobody out, and they're going to walk Kane. Load him up. The first guy on the spot will be Hosmer. This is the third intentional pass handed out by Colon as he pitches in his third inning.
What a night for Hosmer, huh? Had the big air. Now he's got a chance to be the big hero.
Infield will come in. They have to come home.
Yeah, and the only question will be, will you go to another infielder and go with two outfielders?
Not yet, but you do have to bring the outfield in as well. You have to get to a depth where you think you can throw the runner out.
I got to kind of hedge my bets and maybe bring another infielder in.
Hosmer can win it. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ball one. Down the left side, trying to get out of play, and will. In case you're wondering, no World Series game has ever ended on a bases loaded walk. But as we had in the 12th, with the bases loaded, 2 out and Dyson up, you expect strikes out of Colon. Here comes a 1-1. Strike 2.
And if you're Colon, you're looking to try to strike out Hosmer here. You know Dyson runs well. He's going to be tough to double up, but you're still looking to get that double play or force at the plate, but you're heading the count now. You want to try to get that strikeout if you can.
And Escobar is going to get a great jump off third because right against the left-handed hitting Hosmer, way off the bag.
Number 1 in Royals postseason history with his 24 RBIs. Takes ball 2. Granderson back. Escobar tags. Here comes Escobar. The Royals win game 1. Hosmer drives home the winner in the 14th. A 5-hour, 9-minute game one. And both teams, I think, have to be awfully proud with the way they responded here in the first game of this 111th World Series.
Well, they set up an exciting series for us. It was amazing. What a treat. Curtis Granderson made that a lot closer than I thought it would be. We were talking about all the different arms. He got back, got behind that ball, and came up with a strong throw. Look at him get behind it and get a nice running start, and comes up. This is the one as an outfielder you could throw all the way in the air. He made it closer than it looked like it was going to be off the bat.
Well, we saw an epic battle, and not just because it took more than 5 hours of baseball. 38 players, 13 pitchers in this game. But the way these two teams competed tonight. And we're back to what we've seen a lot of, Joe, in the last two postseasons. Kansas City is comeback city.
The winner is Chris Young with 3 shutout innings, the Game 4 starter. But pitching in relief tonight, the loser, Bartolo Colon, the oldest pitcher to lose a World Series game. And the guy